we are finally going to be talking about microphones. It took us a little bit, but we're finally into it. So first of all, let's start talking about some individual setups for specific VTubers. I run the LCT 440 Pure as well as the Revelator IO 44, which I recommend the LCT 440 Pure very heavily if you're looking for an amazing condenser microphone. I don't necessarily recommend the Personas to everyone. I think if you can get it really cheap and test it out, and are the kind of person who is willing to return something if it doesn't work for you, it can be a very good option. But I just know that it's had some technical problems with some setups, so it is, if you're the kind of person who gets very nervous about the idea of returning something if it doesn't work well for you, then it's not a buy for you, because it's not guaranteed to work for everyone.
Personas is kind of a hit-or-miss company, and they are more or less on the budget end of things and don't really offer too many premium products that I'm aware of.
Yeah. Though the Revelator series the Revelator series
it's probably their highest.
It's very good in a lot of ways. They're only $80. It's a very good price for, like, at least right now. You can get them even cheaper depending on where you look. But they have internal DSP that's very good. They have a good mixing software. They actually do have ways to separate your audio directly through the device itself too. There's some premium features, I would say, and pretty high bitrate like recording on it too. So it's an okay device, but definitely I would say if you are not technologically inclined and not the kind of person who wants to futz with stuff, don't get it, because there will be other things that are a lot more standardized that you're not gonna have like almost any problems with, and that there's gonna be so much information out there about and people who have experience with them that you're not gonna have any problem getting help with it if you have a problem. Versus the Personas, which is kind of a little more obscure, right?
Popular products are popular for a reason, you know. They're usually reliable. They usually get the job done, and they usually have a lot of people who can help you out if something goes wrong with them. Yeah,
at least in the I would say in the professional audio world, yes. When we start getting into the gamer audio world, I'm going to have a lot of words.
Oh, yeah, that is true. There are words. I'm going to take that back, rescind that statement a little bit, actually, because, we'll see a few, I'm sure, that we will have some words about.
Yeah, exactly. So this is my setup, chat, and what you're hearing me through. Though I have many other audio devices and mixers and mics. I have, right in front of me, I have a Scarlett 2i2 Gen 4, a Focusrite that I use to test microphones with if I have a new microphone that I pull out and I just need to make sure everything's fine with it. In my closet, I have an Electro-Voice RE20, a Neumann TLM103, a Shure SM7B, a CAD E SX, a CAD E 100SX, a Behringer XM 8500. What else do I have? A King B2. I have a lot of mics. I have a lot of mics.
And autism.
And autism, yes. I have a lot of microphones, a lot of devices, and a lot of potential options, because it's something I'm passionate about and I think is really cool. And I often find really good deals on stuff. I'm really not paying like full retail for any of this stuff, so I feel a little more comfortable buying it if a case ever occurred where I needed money and I could sell these and make at very least the money I put into them back, if not more profit off of them.
Audio is a good hyperfocus to have, and a very, very fucking expensive one when you get too deep.
Yes. Oh yeah, we'll talk about it. When we get to the recommendations, we'll talk about some of the absolutely insane pricing of some devices.
Oh yeah, one of the recs I put in my list, Arthur like audibly yelped at it. Was like, holy shit, at the fucking price.
Yeah, it was a little beyond the realm of what I would say is reasonable for average consumer streamers.
Well, there are V singers who take it quite seriously though, which is why I put that in there on the high end. Basically, with our recommendations when we get to it, to shorten it for now, I just did 3 things per category on a sliding scale of price from low to high.
Yeah, which is fair. It's understandable.
Covered all the bases.
So if I have this really like neat, unique, high-end microphone setup, what does Tomo have? What's Tomo?
Wait, how the fuck did they get that PNG of me?
Oh.
Where have I posted that?
I'm not sure, but Tomo, do you
That's
wanna
so good.
do you wanna talk about why you're talking to us through a blue fucking snowball, Tomo? Do you wanna discuss
Yeah,
that?
I do. I'd love to talk about it. Yeah, so what's up, chat? My name's Tomo Aries. I'm a professional. I've done music for Nintendo. I've done music for all your favorite VTubers. From Punkalope to Arthur Abbott to the next upcoming VTubers you never even heard of. I use a blue snowball when I stream because I don't want to fucking leave my XLR microphone plugged in when I'm not streaming, because honestly, I don't stream as much as I used to anymore because I'm so busy making music for all of your favorite VTubers for a living. So I have space constraints because I have 2 fucking analog synthesizers directly to my left, and I just don't have the space to put my interface somewhere else. So I have this blue snowball microphone that works fine for now, chat. If you would like me to upgrade to a Rode, what's the fucking podcaster microphone, the USB one? Give me 10 gift subs right now in my chat, and I'll fucking upgrade from the blue snowball to an actually decent USB mic.
You know, I mean, I still think like honestly, I think an audio setup like mine is very, very, very minimalist for a desk. Like the size of the Presonus is like literally, it's like a fucking trading card size.
The problem is my music setup is maximalist, so I have shit all over the place, and my interface literally is like right behind my like computer keyboard that I type with, like that keyboard, not like a piano. So when I plug an XLR into that thing, or like plug like a guitar cable, I have the 90-degree angle guitar cables so that I can just have the space for them. But when I plug an XLR in, I have to fucking move my keyboard because I just don't have the space, man. Like, if you want, I'll send you a picture of my setup later. Like, there's not a lot of room. I'm actually looking to sort of Tetris it and make things fit a little better. But yeah, the crazy thing is I have like a bunch of really nice microphones in my possession. You know, I have the SM7B, which is not one I actually recommend. I actually kind of would not go with an SM7B.
Oh, we're gonna debate on that. We're gonna debate on that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, here's the thing. I would trade my SM7B for an RE20 in a heartbeat.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, no, fair. Yeah.
Yeah, SM7B, RE20. As far as dynamics go, I also love, more than the SM7B lately, I love the Shure Beta 57A. It is a fucking jack of all trades microphone, just a refinement of the SM57, which is like one of the best mics ever. I got a Roswell clone of the U67, which is like one of the best mics ever made. Rode K2, like the tube, that's my only tube, and a few other, miscellaneous
You know, I had a chance to buy a tube a little while ago. I had the chance to buy a Rode tube mic for, I think the offer was like $160.
Damn.
And yeah, I passed because I was just like, I don't know. Like, this is just an okay tube mic, and I don't know what my use case for it would be. And like, because I was like, if I could get this for like $100 out the door, I would probably do it. But I feel like it's just like, I was just like, I don't really want to spend the cash on something that like I don't have a specific thing I want to do with it. You know what I mean? When it's like, it's a decent price, but it's not an amazing price.
Yeah. But yeah, I also submitted a few things on the thing as well. I don't know if this is the only slide they made, because I think in your thread I posted like 4 fucking tweets because I'm autistic as shit about audio too, right? But like if I do a karaoke stream, right, I will probably pull out the SM7B just because I can kind of darken it. It's dark enough that it just kind of works in my room at the moment for like something as casual as a karaoke stream where I don't have a lot of filters and stuff on it. So I use that, and then when I actually record vocals for like my music, again, Beta 57A has been a big go-to lately. It's really, really great for how cheap it is. As well as a Roswell U67, whatever it's called, Mini K67X or whatever it's called. If I need like really pristine condenser vocals, which
and I think you didn't say specifically about the thing with the Blue Yeti. She uses the Blue Yeti for spatial concerns, but also because she's an audio engineer, she can. Oh, I'm sorry, the Blue Snowball. I mixed these pieces of shit up.
Make it sound good.
Yeah. Right. She just on stream, she simply mixes the ever-loving shit out of it. To make it listenable.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm like a professional music producer. I know kind of how to make even the shittiest of microphones sound good because I quite literally, people pay me to do that.
Yeah.
Between singing and setting their mics up for streams and stuff as well, you know, setting their filters up within OBS. Arthur, I would say probably 60% of the clients I've had that want me to tune their microphones up, they're Blue Yeti owners, you know? I'm in the fucking trenches. I'm Tom Cruise in Saving Private
You're trying
Ryan
to desperately save the nightmare zone of Blue Yetis.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start talking a little bit about why we are so down on Blue products. Because I think a lot of people who are not knowledgeable about audio will not understand and be like, but everyone, when I Google the streamer mic, Blue Yeti come up, and when I post on Reddit, people say Blue Yeti. Why you say Blue Yeti bad, right? But so the reality is, chat. So Blue was a good microphone company back in the day. They produced things like the Blue Baby Bottle SL and various other very nice.
The Blue Baby Bottle. Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Yeah, they made really good microphones. But so they created things like in the late 20s, early 2010s. They created the Yeti and the Snowball, and they were very popular. And they sold their company to Logitech for like $3 million, $100 million, something like that. It was a large amount of money.
Chill out to gamers.
Yeah, and what Logitech did was ruin the company. They started to phase out production of all their high-end and good microphones because they weren't as high margin. They specifically targeted and focused on only the USB microphones. They moved all the production to different factories to make it cheaper, but by moving it to those factories, the quality standards dipped considerably. You could buy 2 Blue Yetis off the same fucking pallet, and they will sound completely different from each other. Because there's no quality control anymore. They are overpriced, underperforming, and they're also not good microphones for the use cases that they're sold for. Like Blue Yetis and Snowballs are very much loud, room-catchy condensers, and a streamer does not really want, in a lot of cases, a streamer that does not know anything about audio does not want a room-catchy condenser because it's going to make them sound like ass because their room isn't sound-treated whatsoever, so you're just going to hear the echo and the reverberations off all their fucking walls.
So let me break this down into the layman's terms, basically. So chat, for anybody who doesn't know super much about audio, basically, with microphones, you could generally say there are 2 types of microphones. There's dynamic and condenser. You've probably heard these words a lot before. The core difference between the two is that a dynamic microphone is mostly meant to just pick up what is directly in front of it and nothing else, whereas a condenser is meant to pick up every other sound in the room. So they're often most used in like recording studio cases where like a drum set is in a room and they want to pick up the sound of the drum set throughout the entire room and all the ways the sound bounces off the walls and stuff. Whereas a dynamic microphone is like the only microphone they will use at a concert where there are 1,000 things at a bazillion decibels of volume on stage at any given time, and you really only want to pick up what's right in front of you. You will never see a concert where someone sings into a condenser microphone because it will sound like dog shit and it will feed back. It'll be awful.
Yeah, no, the difference is in sound specifically between the two of them, because you might ask, well, why doesn't everyone just use dynamic microphones all the time if they're more efficient in that way, right? The reason is condenser microphones have in a lot of ways, a fuller and more natural sound. I mean, it's different depending on because I've heard some very good dynamics that don't have that kind of like broadcast coloring. But dynamic microphones very often have a very specific tone to them. They sound like the radio. They sound like television broadcasting. They have they have a very specific tone and sound, and not everyone is looking for that sound. Some people want to sound like they're literally in the room with you, right next to you. And that's why condenser microphones are useful, and why they are used in voice acting situations, in like studio situations. And if you have a properly treated room, or you can, that's not super echoey, it can be great for your use cases. It's just a matter of like, you need to know how your microphone works, how it records, and what is best for your environment. Because a lot of people aren't going to go out of their ways to noise treat their rooms.
Yeah, so that's the big conspiracy with microphones, specifically for streamers and podcasters as well, is you're not going to see a company like Elgato. As much as I love the Elgato Wave, by the way, Mike gets a Tomo recommendation. I
Yes.
love
High
the wave as far
Arthur
as USB
recommendation
mics
too.
go.
Yeah.
Because it has dynamic qualities to it, despite being condenser. But either way,
Yeah, we'll
I
talk
digress.
about it, yeah.
The reason you're not going to see a company like Elgato make a dynamic microphone is specifically because essentially it's a grift. They are going to capitalize on the fact that streamers don't really know their shit about audio. They're just going to look up what's popular, what people recommend, and at the end of the day, when it doesn't sound very fucking good, Elgato sells branded Elgato room treatment panels.
Yeah.
You know, it is absurd to me that most microphones for streamers are condenser microphones, because generally speaking, unless you are like a musician, you usually don't need a condenser microphone unless you're just really into audio and have a really well-treated room and just want to sound the best you can for like YouTube content. Or
now
like
the thing
Twitch or whatever.
I will mention to you that maybe you don't know is Elgato actually does have a dynamic microphone, and a Diamond XLR microphone.
Oh,
called
I
the Wave
have seen
DX.
this thing.
Yeah, no,
I
the
forgot
thing
about
is,
that.
the thing is, it's not a very good. It's good, but it's not.
This thing's not USB
amazing.
though, is it?
No, it's
this
XLR.
Is XLR.
Yeah, this is XLR.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Why,
oh,
you
you mean
won't see Elgato selling a USB dynamic mic. The
Yes.
only USB dynamic mics that are decent, to my awareness at least, because I could give a fuck about some random brand, is the Rode podcaster mic, the USB one, whatever it's called. I forget what it's called. Like, I think it's just Rode Pod Mic.
Rode Pod
That's
mic.
it.
Yeah, I think
Pod
USB.
mic USB, and the Shure MV7. And it's because Rode and Shure are like two of the most well-respected audio brands in history. You know?
Yeah, Shure's been around for like 100 years.
Every concert you've ever been to has used a Shure SM57 or a Shure SM58 or both, because they perfected mic designs in the fucking 1950s.
Yep.
We don't need to do
1950,
more.
the 50s into the 60s were the development of the SM57 and the SM58, and then in the 80s, the early 80s, they produced the SM7B, and they've been the standard bearers for years and years and years. And eventually, the MV7 came out, I believe, in the late 90s, early 2000s.
The MV7 was like 10 years ago, maybe.
Oh, was it? Was that even early? Late? Oh, okay.
Well, even the SM7B, the original SM7, I believe, was the late 80s. Michael Jackson was pretty famous for using it on
it was well, no, I think it was 81. 81 was when it came out, because he started using it almost immediately. Like he loved the microphone.
Yeah, he was a big fan of it. And then the SM7B, like, kind of configuration of it was like early 2000s, late 90s, and it got more popular as the 2000s went on, and the price went exponentially up because they realized that people are buying it, and we can
milk
make
them
extra money off of people who don't know anything.
$400 brand new, please.
$400 for a glorified SM57. Don't mind if I do.
Yeah. I mean, I will say it is a very smooth microphone. It is
It's
very
a good
smooth. It's a
microphone,
very
don't get me
good
wrong.
microphone. I think it's a very good microphone right out of the box for a lot of streamers. We'll talk about that when we eventually get to SM7Bs. But
You get diminishing returns though for the price
Yes.
at that point.
Oh, absolutely.
You could just get a
That's
57
why-
and sound basically the same.
Well, that's why I'm a very big proponent when buying microphones about buying used. I think it's super duper important to buy used. You know, you have to learn how to verify with the microphones that are heavily.
Just make sure you get it authentic.
Yeah, make sure that you know how to verify inauthentic versus authentic, and don't be scared. Here's another big thing: do not be scared when it comes to buying microphones online. This is a big thing in general with people with buying things online. Is everyone is always terrified that they're going to get scammed. If you buy through eBay or Amazon, you will never get scammed. It's impossible.
Policy.
They have return policies that heavily favor the buyer. Heavily.
Oh, believe me.
Yeah. So you will, if someone on eBay sends you a fake SM7B, it might take a couple of weeks, but you're gonna get all your fucking money back, no matter what they do. Same with Amazon. Amazon will just you'll put it in a fucking box the next day, and it'll go back, and you'll get your money back in a week.
Amazon's return policies are like criminal when it comes to like the way it can fuck over a seller too. With like, basically, you can send anything back.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, people straight up scam Amazon sellers too.
Oh
yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like, I mean, we'll get into our overall recommendations soon, chat. But yeah, the blue Yetis and Snowballs, I do not like them as recommendations for streamers because
I don't recommend this thing.
in most cases, they are going to be bad for the setups of the individual, and they will have to do heavy post-processing to get it to sound any level of reasonable, which many people don't know how to do. You know, maybe people barely know how to, like, they're scared of the idea of an XLR setup, let alone like figuring out EQ on their own.
Listen, I'll be real, and I'm not even gonna throw shade or anything, but like there are even a lot of people who do audio engineering work in the VTuber sphere who kind of don't know what the fuck they're doing when it comes to setting up a microphone, you know? So like even people who care about this stuff sometimes don't even know what they're doing. So
Yeah.
like audio is difficult and it's intimidating, and there's a lot of outdated advice as well.
Oh,
You know?
yeah.
A lot of times when people look up like, okay, what microphone do I need? Oh, SM7B. Okay, that also means I need an interface. Let me get a Focusrite Scarlett. Oh, I need a cloud lifter too, because they find these Reddit threads from 12 years ago when the average budget interface had much lower gain sequence.
Yeah, when the average interface had like 45 decibels of gain and it couldn't drive an SM7B to a reasonable level, when the modern interface has between 55 to 60 decibels of gain.
Yep. If you got 60, it can run an SM7B without the cloud lifter. Don't buy into the scam if anybody does consider getting one.
Yeah. Yeah, and
just get an interface with
some of the interfaces that I'm going to be recommending are very affordable, very high quality, and have up to 70 decibels of gain. They're very, 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 very good. Yeah, we will talk about that. It's not a bad idea to have I don't think things like a Triton or a Cloud Lifter or an SE Dynamite stick are necessarily bad products, you know. Yeah. But there's a lot of cases where people overbuy and don't actually really need them for their setups. You know,
exactly.
they spend more money than they need to when in all reality they could save a little bit.
Yeah, that's the diminishing return too. Is you don't want to overspend and pay too much for something that's not going to make as much of a difference as the cheaper product, you know?
Yeah.
Because, you get what you pay for sometimes, but there are genuinely great cheap products in the audio world.
Yes,
Behringer
absolutely.
Especially is like
Behringer is
the
never going to be
Robin Hood of audio.
They're never going to be the best microphone or device you get, but most of them will do the job you're looking for them to do and be extremely affordable versus the competitors.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, question from Evil. So I know Arthur always recommends a mic with an audio mixer, but my question is, why does it help with the audio when it's plugged into the PC via USB, which a lot of low budget mics also do? Do you want to catch this one? I've explained this before, but
yeah. So for me, my personal experience with it is convenience, and I think convenience is a big thing for a lot of streamers, especially non-audio people. A lot of the time as well, USB allows the companies to integrate their own software, which allows you to tweak up your microphone, similar to the DSP thing, except it is running off of your computer, but basically it'll also still run the filters you have set up through your Discord. With, for instance, the Blue microphones have the Blue Voice software, Shure has the Motive software, Rode has their own, and they all allow you to basically set up EQ, gate, compression, noise suppression, all that kind of stuff right within that software. So when you go into OBS, you're not even going to need to add extra filters for the most part, and it's going to come through Discord, everything else as well. Convenience is the big thing. Generally speaking, you don't really need to clunky down your space with a big audio interface and a microphone, when more or less you're just going to get the job done plugging a USB microphone in, because you're not going to need the highest quality audio in the world, especially in the context of a stream where there's music and games and chat alerts and shit playing. It gets lost in the mix.
I actually, so I think that what he's asking is specifically that because I advise the complete opposite of you on this one, because I believe in starting the chain with a high quality source, so like I advise people try to move into starter XLR setups for the modularity, so that they have the ability to modify their setup. Because the problem with a USB setup is you buy it and that's it. You just have to sell it at some point if you don't want that specific tone or sound anymore, and you need to buy a whole nother microphone, rather than simply, I don't like the sound of this specific microphone, I'm gonna buy another microphone and then swap it into my audio interface and XLR cable and not have to buy anything more for this. Right.
Yeah. And that's the big thing with audio too, is that like I'm not even going to argue with Arthur about this, because there's nothing to actually argue about. The biggest thing for me as a professional musician who works as a producer and studios engineer, all that stuff, is that there is no objective truth about like the way audio shit works. It truly is convenience and whatever works best for you,
Yeah, and I put a matter of quality over convenience, because you can also have the problem with a lot of the internal processing electronics of microphones, especially the ones that gamers buy, right? The HyperXs, the Blues, is really bad. You can hear a lot of electrical noise in the signal.
And that's why I only recommend a few specific USB ones. That's why I'm not the one here telling you, oh, absolutely go buy the HyperX Quadcast or whatever. That's why when I'm saying get a USB mic, the only ones I'm saying to get are the Rode Pod mic and the Shure MV7. Other than that, don't fucking bother with USB. At that point, do get XLR and get yourself like a nice entry-level Shure. The SM58's like $100. Again, they perfected that bitch in the 1950s, you know?
Also, this might be a spicy opinion, but for all the extra quality people put into mics, how often do people actually listen to them streams on hi-fi setups? Most viewers got to listening to some mid-tier headphones or some mobile through AirPods. So you do make a really good point there. You make a really good point there, but I think it's you don't have to invest a ton of money into your setup. But like I think there is a mid-level quality standard that you should try to hit. So that no matter who is listening to you on what device, you will sound good to them. Right? But you don't need a TLM 103. You don't need an Austrian Audio 818. You don't need an AKG 414 XL2, right? You can want those, and you can want that quality because it can be multi-purpose and used for other situations other than streaming too. But for the most part, when it comes to streaming and audio, you really only need to hit that midpoint. Above piercing screams and harsh unfriendly tones to the ear, like that's where you want to be getting, I think, which is it's basically just a happy medium, so that no matter what, even if someone's listening to you through like MDR 75s or 6s or through like AirPods that have gone through the wash twice, you're still gonna sound good to them.
So this one I will semi-argue. Twitch compresses your audio anyway. Twitch kind of sounds like shit because they just have a compression algorithm. It's the same reason that, you know, you don't really need to stream on Twitch with a 4K capture card because no one will ever be able to get it. Support, because ISPs don't even offer support for quality that high. It's the same for audio. Twitch sounds like shit, and with audiophilia, if you have like high quality speakers only work when you have a high quality audio source, and Twitch is a low fucking quality audio source.
The maximum bit rate that you can put through your audio at is 320 kilobit, 320. It's 320.
320 is like generally the lowest I would ever go for a compressed audio source. Like an MP3 should be at 320. If you go lower than that, it's going to sound like dog shit. But at that point, it's mostly indistinguishable from FLAC at 320.
Yeah.
Again, unless you have fancy speakers and Delulu in the head.
No, this is all very true. I think that you don't need to that's why I really don't advise high-end microphone setups to people unless they are specifically very passionate about audio and they want to do other things with it, right? Like don't buy a TLM 103 unless you're planning on doing vocal recordings and or music recordings, right?
Yes. Yeah. That was the thing too. If you're a V singer or just a singer in general, don't fucking use a USB microphone. At that point, you do need to get an XLR microphone. Yeah, if
you're trying to do voice acting, if you're trying to do like spoken word recording, like for audiobooks, if you're recording YouTube videos too, like these are situations where the what?
Sorry.
Yeah.
This is the Yoshi's. I love this soundtrack. I love Yoshi's Woolly World. It's super underrated. I'm sorry. Oh, hyperfixation.
But yeah, like it really depends on your use case and what you're looking for. And also, so the other thing is, it's also about what do you want out of it, right? Like what makes you happy with how you sound? Are you happy with how you sound? Because some people might want a specific microphone that might be a little more expensive than another microphone because it makes them sound good to their own ears. Right, it's the tonage. Like for Evil had like upgraded to an SM57, and he loves the sound of it, and he can listen to the sound of his voice now versus other microphones that he used to use where he couldn't. Right, so that's a worthwhile upgrade for him in that case.
And here's the thing about microphones as well, especially as you get into condensers and more detailed microphones like that on the higher end of things. Every microphone has a unique kind of quality to it that will enhance certain parts of your voice. For instance, the SM7B is really great for podcasters who have really deep voices because it's a very dark microphone. It doesn't have a lot of shimmer to it. It brings up that really low, and it would sound amazing on Yano's voice, for instance.
Yeah, some people don't like bright microphones. Where I use a bright microphone. Like the LTT 440 Pure is very bright, but it fits my voice extremely well, right?
The thing, Sorry.
But dark microphones can have a nice smooth coloration. Which let's try to explain dark and bright to people, I guess, because those are terms that don't immediately aren't understandable.
Oh yeah, Yano, don't.
But a dark microphone means that there's a lot of it's very smooth and in the low end, and it has a smoothness to it basically. Where
it doesn't sound bright.
Yeah, where a bright microphone it's very sparkly, and it has a lot of the high end. It accentuates very high voices and kind of poppy tones. It's hard to sound is very difficult to describe to people. Unless you just kind of have to hear it to understand. You just need to listen to a comparison between dark and bright microphones on good headphones to really know what we're talking about. But they do have specific tones that can be picked up by the average person. This is not audiophile fluff. It is actually a genuine sound difference.
Yeah, and then kind of the last little trivia thing I had on that point is that everyone has a microphone eventually that they will it'll work really well for them out the box without too much tweaking beyond that, which is why, for instance, a lot of female pop singers will use really expensive U87 microphones, the Neumann U87, super, super iconic, legendary microphone.
Yeah.
Because it's one that is generally speaking really great for just powerful pop alto soprano voices. However, someone like Taylor Swift, and this is not an insult to any Swifties in the chat right now.
I am insulting Swifties in chat right now.
I'll insult the Swifties. I don't give a fuck. She has a generally pretty weak, thin voice, which is why she doesn't use the $10,000 U87 mic. She uses an Avantone CV12 on her recent albums. It's a $400 tube condenser, because it just accentuates the weaknesses in her, or it compensates for the weaknesses in her voice.
Yeah.
And makes her sound better. It's really a matter of what microphone is going to work best for you. You might buy a microphone and it just might not work perfectly for you, and then find something cheaper eventually that works for you. It's not always going to be the most expensive option.
No,
microphones
microphones
isn't the Band-Aid
are
solution,
not. Microphones are not a linear thing where it's just if the more money I pay, the better I'm going to sound, because all voices are different, and you have to consider that when you're looking into the specific device that you're looking for. And
it's the voice, it's the room, it's the song if you're singing a song, it's the way you speak if you're streaming, podcasting, whatever. Yeah,
and you need to be willing to experiment and be willing. Here's the big thing in audio that a lot of audio heads do: be willing to return. Be willing to buy something, test it out, and then if it doesn't work out for you, return it. Don't be afraid.
Send guitars back.
Yeah. It's just sometimes you're gonna get something and it's just not gonna sound the way you want it to, and you can just get your money back, return the thing, and buy something else. Just
here's the
test
perfect
out.
example. I had a $4,000 Gibson Les Paul and a $2,000 Marshall half-stack amplifier. Two super iconic they're the default when people think of guitars and amps and stuff, right? Fucking hate them. I hated them. I sent them back, and now my setup that has the best guitar sound I've ever had in my life is a $600 Vox AC15 amp and a $300 Squier Stratocaster. And they sound better than that $10,000 setup.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's just sometimes you just find what works, Everybody has their own preference with sound too. That's why I was saying things aren't entirely objective.
Yeah. Earlier, I was also wondering, more than mics and Twitch compression, the room is also super important now. So yes and no. The thing is, the microphone you pick needs to be able to fit the room that you're in and how you have it treated, right?
That's what we were saying earlier about dynamic versus
that's why
condenser.
we are going to be very heavily advertising dynamics to people during our recommended later in the stream.
Most streamers have a bad room.
Yeah, most streamers have a bad room and do not know how to properly treat it, right? Like, I've talked to streamers and been like, okay, so what you can do is you can put some 2-inch thick foam up, and that will really help to, like, even a few panels here and there will really help to, like, lessen the reverberations, the harsh tones. And they've just been like, oh, I can't put anything up on my walls. And I was like, okay.
Okay, so
All right, man. Like,
legitimately, some of the best ways to just like ghetto ass treat your room, fucking carpets on the floor. If you have a hardwood floor, carpet the fuck out of that thing.
Yes.
Even if they're just rugs, put them down. Put
Yep.
some carpets down. If you don't sleep in the room you stream in, you're at a disadvantage already, man. If you have a fucking bed, that's gonna absorb so much sound. Get the biggest, fluffiest comforter you can. Get a goddamn blackout curtain for your window. If you're an anime fan, get those wall tapestries they sell for too much money at your local anime convention. Hang 5 of those bitches up.
that can help. Yeah, you know what? So the ultimate like DIY solution that I've told people is go to Home Depot and buy piping and corner turns and build yourself a couple of walls, like piping walls, right? Like really cheap, really easy, probably like $20 per wall in piping.
Make some sheets.
And then buy a moving blanket, a big thick moving blanket, and just drape it over it.
Yeah.
Drape it over it. Create an entire like a carpeted wall that you can quickly disassemble and move it around in your room. And that itself will be, you don't have to do anything destructive. You can put it right up, and there you go. Yep. Like for like $50, $60, you've just built yourself a sound dampening wall.
Those little sound shielding things too that they sell on Amazon, just like those little like fucking like miniature, like they look like D&D like Dungeon Master folds, you know what I mean? With like foam panels on those. Those even can get the job done in certain cases.
Yeah.
Not always, but they get the job done.
Sometimes.
If anybody needs some good piping, come to twitch.tv/Tomo Harries, you know what I'm saying?
Well, the floor's already carpeted. Well, you're already good then. Like that's literally what we were saying is the carpeting.
Exactly.
And also another way you could is like have a bunch of stuff on shelves. Like stuff all over the place, all over your room helps to like dampen reverberations in general. It doesn't have to be soft.
The general principle of sound treating is the more shit you have, the less the less distance sound has to travel. It'll just all contribute to muffling up the sound.
Yeah, exactly.
It's quite literally like putting water in a container. If you put a bunch of action figures in a bucket and fill it with water, it's gonna fill with less water than if there weren't action figures in the bucket. I don't know why that came to mind first, but like, you know what I mean though? Just like,
I know
the
exactly
more
what you
stuff
mean,
you put in a bucket, the less surface or whatever fluid ounces of water is gonna be able to go in the bucket, you know?
Yes, exactly. So that's why streamers have garbage everywhere. Asmongold is an audio engineering genius. Yes, exactly. Exactly, yeah.
Isn't that the dude whose teeth rotted out?
Yes. All right, so next up, we have all the images from Team Woof that are the ones that I pulled up immediately after hours. So the Snek herself, Nagi, is using one of the best USB microphones that I think is out there, the Elgato, the
only
Wave 3.
USB condenser that I would recommend.
Yes,
the
it is.
Only one.
So the Elgato Wave 3, the story behind this microphone is that Elgato teamed up with Lewitt, the microphone company for the microphone that I personally use, to build this microphone. The capsule inside this mic is the same capsule that is in their 240 Pro microphones, their starter $100 microphone. It is very well tuned for streamers. It has a very nice sound and coloration to it for streaming. It sounds a little bit dynamic-y in its tones. And it's
got a good program that comes with it as well. Sorry to interrupt. I'm just sorry to interrupt you.
No, go for it. Yeah. The Wave program is really good. Like the Wave, and it's totally free as long as you have this mic plugged in. You can just use the Wave program for audio separating, for EQ. And
through Discord.
Yep. Yeah. So you get to adjust your audio. So it's very similar to DSPing, but on PC through software rather than through a device itself. Very, very good mic. Even the Wave 1, if you're able to find a Wave 1 which is out of production, sometimes...
I recommend the Wave 1. That thing went out of production because they could get away with it. The Wave 1 is the same microphone. The only difference is it doesn't have the mute button on it. And I never recommend using the mute button on a microphone. Always mute through Discord and OBS. You need to cut the signal off at the fucking source because that mute button doesn't actually mute you. All it does is bring the audio to the noise floor. And what that means is if something gets really, really loud, it can still come through. I literally had someone press the fucking mute button on their Wave 3 and fart. And it came through. I will never ever disclose who that was. But they learned a valuable fucking lesson that day.
Shitting
but
and farting
they
and
got
tooting.
away with discontinuing the Wave 1 because they could sell the more expensive product, but it is a good product. Just don't use that mute button.
Yeah. It also has it also has that little on-screen display as well, because the original Wave 1 doesn't have that either.
You're right.
But yeah, basically if you can get like a Wave 1 for $40-$50, then it's totally worth it. Also, I will highlight again, always make sure to look for used deals. A Wave 3 you can generally buy for it's $150 brand new. It goes down to about $110 on sale. But if you get it used, you can get it anywhere from like as low as $60 to up to $80 to $90. So, which is a very, very good deal for a microphone, an USB microphone of this quality. It's nice, it's sturdy. Yeah, fantastic mic. And then Nagi also has. At some point, she's going to be upgrading. I didn't get it on the image because technically it's in the mail right now to her. But she has a Blue Baby Bottle SL. She has a Neumann TLM 103, an early 2000s production run unit, and a Motu M4.
So good.
Yeah, very good audio devices.
Yeah, the Motu M2 is probably the best budget audio interface that there is. It's actually unbelievable how they can get away with selling a audio interface at that price with as good of a preamp as that. It is unfucking believable how good that preamp is.
It's crazy good. I had issues with my Motu, unfortunately. Oh, man.
Yeah. It's a shame, too, because, there are really good interfaces that some people just have problems with. I bought an Audient ID 1.4 a couple years ago, and I couldn't get the software to work with it. To this day, there is a ghost icon in my system tray because that fucking software just would not load. It wouldn't install properly. It wouldn't uninstall. It wouldn't open. And it just sits there now. So I traded it in for I got the Focusrite Claret instead. But
yeah,
some shit that people have great success with, don't for others, because everyone has a different PC.
Yeah, random configurations of CPU, GPU, RAM, motherboard, the Windows variant can sometimes mess up. Yeah, with specific devices. Which is why when I advise on audio interfaces, I try to advise on things that are very universal and high quality, so that you're going to run into a lot less of these issues with the software.
They've had enough people get them that they've just been able to troubleshoot so many common issues. That's why the Focusrite Scarlett is such a popular thing, is because so many of them have been sold that they have sorted out so many of the issues with them because so many people have just had them.
And they're on generation 4 of the fucking device at this point. So they have consistently and constantly improved the device through generations. Even a Scarlett Solo or 2i2 Gen 3 is still something I would heavily advise people, because they're very common. You can get them used all over the place. They're pretty sturdy. If it is broken, you can just contact Focusrite and try to get a replacement RMA. They do basically everything you're gonna want it to do. Though, if you can afford a 4, just get a 4, because it's more modern. Next up, next setup here is Mirabelle. Also is using an Elgato Wave 3. She's also using an Elgato Wave 3, because you'll see some mics pop up over and over and over again throughout these lists, chat, because they're very, very popular. And some of them, we're going to say, yes, that's a good thing it's popular. Some of them, we're going to cringe. And currently in the mail to her, she already has the Focusrite, a 3rd gen. But in the mail is a Electro Voice RE20.
So good.
One of the best dynamic microphones ever made. It was produced in the 1960s.
Maybe even the best dynamic mic ever. It might have a strong running for that. This thing is, it's like Arthur said. They made this thing in the 60s. It is timeless. It is iconic. You heard this thing all over the radio growing up. If anybody in the chat is a Radiohead fan, this thing is the sound of Radiohead. Tom York used this all over Kid A, OK Computer. If you listen to the incredible In Rainbow's Basement session, you can literally see him just with his mouth up against this thing, glorping into it, going.
You see, that's one of the things that's so amazing about the RE20. So the RE20 has a thing called variable D technology. It is a patented technology that only Electro Voice can use, where you see all those grills up and down the sides of the microphone. What that does is it prevents coloration when you get close to the mic. Because so most microphones have this thing called coloration, where when you get really close to the mic, when you get closer to it, like the bass in your voice heavily accentuates, right? And then as you back away from it, you get a standardized sound, right? Like because the noise source is so close. What the Electro Voice RE20 does is, by having all these vents all along the sides and the way that the capsule is designed, variable D makes it so that no matter your distance from the microphone, you're going to sound the same. Whether you're a foot away up to right, like literally kissing the fucking microphone, it will not have any of those tones and distortions. Meaning you can get really close to it and have your audio source be extremely like right up against it, so you can keep your gain relatively low with your recording, and you won't have any distortion or any kind of issue with that. It's a really cool tech. And it's on
good mic, yeah.
It's on the 320, it's on the RE20. Though I would advise, honestly, the 320 is $300 and the RE20 is $450. I would just go with the 20.
At that point, yeah.
Yeah, just go with the 20. Especially
bite
considering
the bullet, save that extra 100.
Yeah, considering
go for it.
you can buy a used RE20 that's in good condition for around $300. Anyway, so
they're
just
great.
Just like, I got a really good deal. Did I tell you about the deal I got on my RE20?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so I bought 2 RE20s with the shock mounts, mint condition, $600.
Damn. Oh, hey, look, there's Mirabelle. Everybody point.
Yeah, point and laugh. Miwa.
Point and laugh. I'm just saying point.
But yeah, so $600 for 2 of them with the shock mounts is crazy, because like brand new these sell for $450. With the shock mount sells for between $100 to $160. So like I saved easily like probably $300 or $400 on this whole package.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, Mira is going to be upgrading to one of the best dynamics ever made. And no, here's the thing. It's really good, though I will say you don't necessarily need this. This is like, I love audio and I want a high-end beautiful microphone that I'm never going to have to like get rid of. That's what the RE20 is. It is not
this is a buy it for life mic.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
You might have to buy a different interface in a couple years, but it's a classic for a reason.
Yeah. Now,
indestructible.
It's time to shit on a blue woman.
Hello?
So Baca has the Scarlett Focusrite 2i2 Gen 4. Very good mixer, right? Very good consumer grade mixer. Like a lot of good updates there. The microphone that Baca has is the Audio-Technica 2020. I do not like this microphone. I hate this microphone. So the problem with this microphone is it is one of the most popular condensers of all time. It is extremely popular. They have done a very good job at marketing it. It is noisy. It is harsh. It picks up everything in the room. It is a very mediocre low-end mic, but it is very, very, very eclectic all over streaming. It can sound good. Now, here's the thing. The RE20 can sound amazing if your sound environment is good and you know how to EQ it properly to EQ out the harsher tones. Because
Even
this
then,
is one of the most
popular...
popular...
It's a tough mic to work with.
Yeah. But because this is one of the most popular microphones of all time in the condenser space, in content creation, that means a bunch of fucking normies who don't know how to goddamn tune all own this microphone, and I have to hear their harsh, shrilling peaks in my goddamn ear with the goddamn 2020 all over the place. I hate it. I fucking hate it. I hate this goddamn mic.
I will go straight out and say this thing is the Blue Yeti of XLR condenser microphones. It truly is a really, again, if the Blue Yeti is 60% of what I've worked with people who come to me for filter setups, this thing's at least a solid 10 to 15% of the remaining, and it is.
Yeah.
I think my most recent client before Taka was using one of these, and it is a struggle to get one of these things to work right. It really is. You need like more than just the shit that OBS can handle. OBS doesn't take newer, higher end plugins, and if it did, they would absolutely boggle down the CPU usage further than OBS already overuses it. It needs a lot of extra work to get to sound right, and OBS, generally speaking, doesn't have the equipment to do that, even as external, like, third-party plugins. It just doesn't work great.
Yeah.
It's tough. Baka sounds good.
Yeah, Baka sounds okay.
Rightly Australian.
Yeah, this is my first thought. My XLR mic was dog shit. Please don't get it. Yeah. So something,
there it is.
Let's talk about noise floor real quick. So noise floor is the amount of electrical noise that comes through a microphone, the amount of self noise that is within a microphone based on its internal electronics. Chat. The Audio-Technica 2020 has 20 dB of self noise. The average good microphone has 8 to 6. This piece of shit is so noisy.
So the best way to explain noise floor as well, chat, for anybody who still isn't maybe quite following, the best way to explain noise floor is if you were to mute the stream, don't. But if you were to just mute the stream or whatever, if you were to turn your speaker all the way up, your speaker has a noise floor as well. And you will start to hear a hum eventually. That's
you'll hear
a noise floor.
And a and
you'll hear like the static almost, yeah.
It's rough.
Like a radio noise almost, yeah.
And it can and when you combine various different noise, like, right, so there's noise floors within a microphone, there's noise floors within a mixer, there's noise floors within your PC, like all these various different things all combined together. When you get enough of it, you will actively be able to hear this shit like humming and buzzing in the background of someone's audio.
Yeah, so not just that as well, but also additionally with that, the thing that is so tough about noise floor, you might be thinking, okay, so like if it's just really low and you'd have to turn the speaker all the way up to hear it, what's the deal with a microphone? Well, with a microphone, generally speaking, in broadcast, you want to use a compressor. That's like, you've probably heard the term compressor before. What a compressor does in the most simplest of layman's terms is it brings quiet sounds up and loud sounds down and kind of squishes it all together. What that means is when you compress a sound, the noise floor is not just going to be that -20, it's going to go up when you compress it. So when you compress a microphone, you're going to hear that noise floor at a higher volume than you would without the compressor. But the compressor sounds really good, which is why we often advise using a good microphone with a compressor rather than a shitty microphone with a compressor, because then you would hear the noise floor.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, so Baka's setup is almost there. I think we need to get her a better mic at some point. But
we love you, Baka. We're gonna help you.
But she does have
help you out.
a very good mixer, like a very good modern like interface. Next up is DJ. So DJ is running the peak. He's already running on the peak. He's got a LCT 440 Pure, which I advised him to get. Lewitt, sponsor me. 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 Lewitt, I have literally sold like 12 to 20 of your microphones. Lewitt, fucking sponsor me, please. I'm begging you. I'm on my hands and knees. And he is using a Focusrite Scarlett Solo 4th Gen, which, it fits perfectly into the setup. He's got a good XLR cable with it. Everything you could possibly need. Which, by the way,
I helped DJ set his filters up as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Ooh, okay. Nice.
This was a while ago.
Yeah, so something that also needs to be noted about microphones. So the LCD 440 Pure, as you can see here, it has a shock mount. This shock mount is included with the microphone when you buy it. It also comes with 2 pop filters. It comes with a metal pop filter and a soft foam pop filter as well, depending on what use case you need for it, right? And when you're buying a microphone, you really want to try to get something that has, some accessories to it, because pop filters and shock mounts can be expensive. You can end up buying like a microphone that doesn't have anything with it for $80 because you think it's a good deal, and then next thing you know, you have to spend $30 on a pop filter and $15 $30 on a shock mount and $15 on a pop filter, and then it ends up being the exact same price as if you had bought the other slightly better microphone that has those accessories included with it.
So here is another thing, chat. Let me give you another one of Tomo's great ghetto fucking audio tech tips. Pop filters, if you are really in a pinch and you don't mind the appearance of it looking scummy as fuck, you can basically make a pop filter for less than $1. What you need is a wire clothes hanger that you would give yourself an abortion with, like one of those ones that you can twist around. It was in a scene in American Horror Story, okay? Basically, you get one of those, you twist that motherfucker into a circle, and then you buy a 15-cent pair of pantyhose at Walmart, and you just stretch them around the bitch, and you snip the ends off, and you're good. That's literally all a pop filter is. It is quite literally the same material as pantyhose. It's just a matter of what you use to actually wrap them around.
Yeah, though I will say I think that foam pop filters are foam and metal are generally a little more effective than a cloth pop filter, but a cloth pop filter can still be very useful, right?
It's better than nothing. Most good microphones just have them kind of built in for the most part in this day and age, you know?
Yeah. You would also just speak past the microphone instead. Yes, exactly. You can also use... mic technique is something that is hard for a lot of people to do, but generally, you should not be speaking into your microphone, chat. Yeah. You should not be looking at... Like, when I'm talking into my microphone like this, that's not proper usage. I should be speaking...
All the plosives, the P's, the S's, all of it.
You want it to be slightly to the left or slightly to the right or slightly below your mouth or slightly above your mouth, so that because what causes those harsh tones and plosives is it's the air that is coming out of your mouth when you speak. So you just don't want to breathe into it. You want all of that to be pushing forward past the microphone. You can still catch your voice in a very like adequate and active way while having it like off axis, off center.
So here is something as well I see in chat. Ren Omega saying, and this is a joke for sure. Good joke, I will say that. But I will also say, because it did make me think of something. So Ren says, I use the cum sock as my pop filter. If it works for my seat, it works for my voice. However, what I will actually say on a serious note, don't use a sock as like a pop filter for like an SM58 or like a handheld microphone or something like that, because generally speaking, the fibers in the sock are going to come off and they're going to go directly into the microphone capsule and they're going to fry your fucking microphone. Yeah. So don't do that, because I have done that in the past before in my years of ghetto studio shit. Just if you need a cheap pop filter, the pantyhose trick. Just even if you just stretch the pair of fucking pantyhose over the microphone, that'll do a better job than a sock.
Yeah, exactly. Vtubers are slightly better for this for that. The cam streamers, as a coincidence, due to model tracking. Yeah, because people need their face to be fully tracked, so they naturally in like unknowingly end up putting their microphone in a proper position for that. Yeah.
Yep, that's true.
All right, next is Vari. So Vari is on a Shure MB7 and a Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 second gen, old school. Which the second gen's still okay. It has some,
job done for sure.
Yeah, it gets the job done. Has a couple of small issues with it generally, but like it's no Gen 1s. I would never advise anyone to use a Gen 1. If you get like a Gen 2 for like no money.
Sorry.
Well, go ahead.
Whoever made this graphic, that's a Scarlett Solo, by the way. That's not a 2i2.
Oh, that's fine.
Yep. I'm just saying if anybody online is watching this going, oh man, I want a 2i2 second gen, it's going to be a different picture than that.
Yeah. it has the 2i2 variants have 2 XLR ports on the front rather than 1 XLR port on the front. The
Solos generally have lower gain as well.
Yeah, slightly, but they do generally have lower gain, yeah. We're up to like where the 4 has like the 4i4 has like insane gain, and like it's got like MIDI ports on it too that are completely useless to most people who, unless they're like actual recording musicians.
To me, baby.
Yeah. I did an internet lie, but so the MV7 is the mid-range microphone between the SM7B and the SM58 and the 57, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
They're all pretty much the same, honestly.
Yeah, they produce...
This thing basically is just an SM50, or excuse me, it is an SM7B with a USB option. It really is the gist of it, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
There's slight differences, but it sounds almost identical. It's like 98% the same mic.
Yeah. It's very similar. And like generally, I don't advise getting the MV7 unless you like specifically really need a USB microphone and you don't want to move into anything else and you want something in this specific tone.
Yeah.
Because there's other options that I think are better than this for Shure microphones. But it's not a bad option though. I will say it's not bad. Yeah, it's not like don't get this because it sucks. It's don't get this because there's better options that do the exact same thing for cheaper.
Sorry, there was some internet delay there. I wasn't trying to cut you off.
Oh, yeah, it was okay.
Pretty much any time it seems like I am, it's because it seems like there's some room and I'm getting ready to keep the convo going. Yeah, no, I would also agree though. The only reason I would ever really advise getting the MV7 is honestly for using it for USB purposes. At that point, I would honestly just recommend, like, again, a Beta 57A or SM7B. Christ, sure. Why you put all these numbers in them? Yeah, that's the take. But like MV7 is a great microphone though. I again, of the like 3 USB mics that I would advise getting, this is absolutely one of them.
Yeah, it's on the list. So next up, so we start getting into the people who posted on the Twitter. So Watch It channel had the Togo USB mic. Yeah, there's gonna be some real special ones in here. This is
getting into the meat now.
The Amazon special, the Amazon like fake reviews, 5-star reviews special on this one.
I've never heard of it, but I can only imagine what it sounds like.
Yeah, I can only imagine the sound of this thing. It's probably really something else. I see that tripod shot like standee, and I'm just like, oh boy.
Here we go.
Oh boy, here we go. Next up, so this is a really good setup. Yeah. So Itsune is another audio person similar to us.
I was gonna say there's no reason you'd have an 18i20 if you didn't make music.
Yeah, they've got a Focusrite 18i20, which is a very high end like music device, like a mixer, and then the Sennheiser 441. For those who don't know, Sennheiser, you've probably heard of Sennheiser for headphones before. Sennheiser is also a microphone company who also owns Neumann. They are the parent company of Neumann.
They were the first condenser I ever bought was a Sennheiser. I don't even remember the model of it. I actually have it still. I haven't opened it in probably 10 years because it wasn't great. Because it was like a $100 one I got for like Christmas, right? Sennheiser, their like actual mics are really fucking good.
Yeah.
I actually do use a Sennheiser E609, I believe, for guitar cabinets.
Oh.
Great microphone for guitar.
The mixer belongs to a studio rack. Yeah, it's literally made for studio racks. Yeah. But yeah, these are definitely not the kind of audio devices I would advise to the average like streamer, right? But this is a very good setup. It is gonna sound amazing, I'm sure, for all things. All right, okay, here we go. We're into it. So Minimoe has a Blue Yeti X. I don't know. We'll just kind of like parse over some of the microphones that we've already talked about in the past.
It's a really cute design, by the way.
It is a cute design, yeah. But
Minimoe, if you're listening to this, I'm actually obsessed with the bitten cookie ear.
That is really cute. But yeah,
anyways, Blue Yeti X.
Blue Yeti X. These are rough mics. These are very rough mics. Serena Ioe has a Samsung Q2U. So I've seen a lot of Samsung Q2Us when I was going through.
Never heard of it, but it looks like a 58. Like it looks like a 58 clone.
I assume this is a similar 58 clone that a lot of people use, probably because it goes on sale places. Right,
yeah,
or
it's probably Amazon's choice or something.
Yeah, it's one of those. And then a Focusrite Scarlett Solo 3rd Gen. You're gonna see a lot of Focusrite Scarlett Solos, chat. It is probably the single most common audio interface in streaming, period. And shockingly, I'm not gonna say that's a bad thing. It's a good thing. Like there actually are good devices.
That's what I was saying earlier. Is they're just so well used, so well tested that just they're popular for a reason, for good reason. Anyways, Razer Saren Mini, these are rough. I've worked with a few of these, man.
Dude, I love the fact that the thing that I love about this Razer Saren Mini, right, is the fact that it has a horrible fucking stand that sits directly on the middle of a table, and every single time you tap or touch the table in any given way, you're gonna hear all the reverberations that go through it, and that you don't even know what direction to talk into the fucking thing because the grill is just omni fucking directional. What a horrible mic for streaming.
The hardest vocal cover I've ever mixed was someone who sang into one of these. It was so much cleanup work to make this thing not sound shitty, and then some additional lifting to actually make it sound kind of passably good.
Yeah.
They're tough, man.
Oh, man. So what do you think of Fine mics? I've seen a lot of people. If I find mics, like I've seen a lot of people use Fine mics, and I've heard some good things about them. I haven't used any of them myself, or really like listened to a lot of recordings with them. But I've seen them be kind of like a budget alternative for people, similar to Behringer, but for like USB.
I've heard the name before, but I've never actually worked directly with one, at least to my knowledge, you know? I mean, every now and then someone will, like, get me good vocals for a cover or something, and I just won't even have to bother asking them what microphone they use. So, like, it's possible maybe these ones have come through the cracks and I just didn't know. But, yeah, I have no direct experience with them, so I'm completely neutral. I have no idea how they sound. It's a brand I'm not super familiar with either, so maybe that's, like, a negative point just in terms of, like, recommendations, like reliability. I'd only recommend something that I think is reliable, so I wouldn't be able to recommend something I don't know about.
Yeah, Katsu's saying they're the most average mics ever. Bunzel's saying that some mics are fine, some are shit depending on what you get. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I would say, like, I would kind of want to try one of these at some point, because they are cheap. Like, that's the thing, is this goes on sale for like $40-50. Like, this mic is relatively inexpensive.
Their avatar is giving Gundam. I can't tell entirely, but it looks like a Gundam character. I want to see that zoomed out.
Oh, also, by the way, for the purposes of I'm sorry to anyone who is not subbed, who is going to get ads and going to have things blacked out for them. But for the purposes of the VOD later, at least for this segment, because I want to highlight this, we will be running through ads and just talking through ads. We will not be taking breaks in between. So I apologize, but also sub, please.
Real.
It is a subathon. Please sub.
I'm a big Gundam fan. You can't even see it on my belt. I have a Gundam charm, but Arthur's in control of me, so you can't see it. Ooh!
Yeah. Oh,
Yippee.
Crib, thank you for the gift sub to Code. Thank you. Fuck you, pores. Hey, be nice to the pores.
Oh my god.
All right, let's continue. Yeah, it's good. So fine, it's interesting. I would honestly want to hear a little bit of these mics and to know more about them. Okay. Another fine mic here. Unchi the puppy has an AM8, which I'm a lot less confident in this mic than the other one. I'm gonna be real. The one that looks more like an SM7B clone, I'm a little more confident in that one than the pink mic.
No, but it's pink. It's gotta sound good, and I mean that half sincerely. I mean that half sincerely. It's gotta sound good. It's pink.
Oh my god. I can't even.
Yeah, I haven't
even
heard
imagine.
it, so I can't comment. But
yeah,
listen, if they're saying they're okay mics, I'm saying the pink one's got to be okay.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair, I guess. Also, Flan, thank you for the resubscription too. Oh man.
God damn, you went to these by hand.
Yeah, well, no. So all of these, I had a team of five big guys.
No, dog. I mean your sub point counter.
Oh yeah.
Every time a sub comes through, I am watching this motherfucker manually type the button up.
Yeah, I have to, unfortunately, because there's no way to do like the points system. Yeah, I just have to manually track them with it. Luckily, it can at least all be tracked through the counters, so I can constantly recheck the math later. But okay, so Makimoe uses an F-Deuce SL40X, which I do not know.
I've never heard of it. It looks like an MV7.
It's an MV7 clone. I've never heard of it before. But they also use a Shure SM58.
Clones can be good.
Yeah,
and the Shure SM58 is again, it's timeless. Everybody in chat has heard one of these before.
Yes.
No matter what, you have heard one of these before somewhere in your life. Lots of times in your life.
Yeah, you don't.
It's timeless. It's perfect.
Yeah, you might not have known you heard it, but you've heard it.
When you think of a microphone, that is the form factor that appears in your head.
When you tell a child draw a microphone, that's what they draw.
That's what they draw.
Yep. Next up is Captain Camille with a Shure SM7B plus a Focusrite Scarlett Solo 3rd gen and a cloud lifter. Which once again, as we said,
you need the cloud lifter for that interface for sure.
Do you think that the 3rd gen needs cloud lifter?
Yeah, and all the solos have low gain. Unless you, generally speaking, 60 is the comfortable lowest you can have, and then you're gonna have to add software gain on top of it. 65 to 70 is about where you actually want to be as far as gain to power one of these things.
That's fair. Okay. All right. Next is Revered 2 has a Rode NT USB. I believe this is the one you said was a pretty good one.
DS wearing the shame badge.
They made the NT mics as a USB, but they are like I would try. I would. No, I don't. I've never heard this mic. What's happening? Where's the
I
sound
tried again.
from? Oh, I've never heard this mic, but Rode is one of the fucking goats of audio. I would trust this mic. I would trust this for
I will
sure.
say some Rode products I think can be a little weak.
Some
from time
can
to
be
time.
weak, but like generally speaking, they know what they're doing and they're not going to make a total crap product. You know.
Yeah. No, exactly.
This isn't gonna be like one of those random Amazon's Choice, brand mics.
Yeah. It's not
I'd
gonna
give
be.
it a shot.
It's not gonna be bottom of the barrel garbage. And remember, you can always return. You can always return if it doesn't work out for you. Tirabel has a Rode XDM 100. I've never heard this mic before.
I've never heard of this either. but
Meow
again,
meow
it's
meow
Rode.
meow 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 meow.
It does look like a gamer mic. I will say that.
It does look a little bit gamer, but I mean it's a Rode product, so it's got to be okay at least.
It's got to be okay.
Yeah, at least default fine.
I'd have to hear. You should have asked for everyone to submit audio samples.
I could have checked their channels, but that was honestly maybe a little too far. I didn't expect
just,
so many
like,
people to
reply
respond.
with a video type shit.
Is the
though,
thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so Twig uses a Beacon mic for streaming. What are your opinions on the Beacon microphones?
They're okay.
Yeah, they are. For those who don't know, the Beacon microphone is not actually a microphone technically. It's a USB controller that translates the audio into via their software, and it is developed by the people who produced the Go XLR. It's former Go XLR TC Hellion designers who left the company and formed their own company to make a new product.
Yeah. They're okay. I've worked with like one or two. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever worked with. It wasn't the best either. It was very neutral sounding, very flat, not a lot of color or character, but like solid enough. Say it's like the same thing as the AT 2020 with like, as far as just like it's kind of a personality-less mic. It's up to what you do with it.
Yeah. Very true. Yeah. No, of course it's trying to clone the at least the form factor of the SM7B, which is very popular to try to clone because everyone knows it so well. And then for recording, she uses the Focusrite Scarlett Solo 3rd Gen with an Audio-Technica AT 2040. I've never heard of 2040 before.
I haven't either. I didn't know that was a thing. I mean, I know Audio-Technica makes a lot of microphones, but yeah. I've never heard of the 2040.
There's a lot
I assume it's probably just an upgrade over the 2020 by a little bit.
Like the 3050 and like the 4060. There's like a lot of random microphones from Audio-Technica that I don't know. I've never heard in my life. I've heard the 4040 and the 2020 are the two I'm very familiar with, but a lot of them it's not.
Audio-Technica isn't a brand that I would think of when I think of microphones above like the $200 price point,
Yeah.
Just in general.
Though I've heard, like, I mean, the 4040 sounds good, though it's bright.
They're fine. They know what they're doing,
Yeah.
At the very least, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stop speaking moon speak. I'm from the moon. That's my lore.
Pitterine is using a Samsung Q8X with a Presonus Audio Box 96. This is absolutely a hyper-budget setup, if I ever did see one.
I will say, I used a President's Audio Box 96. Looking at this thing, I used a white one, but like, looking at this thing makes me nostalgic because I used one of those motherfuckers for like 15 years. I only upgraded to my current interface in 2021, I believe. I used the audio box all before that. I've recorded so many albums on them. They're, again, as far as a preamp and an audio interface goes, they're very neutral. They get the job done on a budget. It is the sound of a generation of Bandcamp indie rock musicians.
So true.
For real.
Yeah. And I run across these things in pawn shops all the time, but I generally don't pick them up because they usually they want more for them than I think they're honestly worth. Especially
they're an $80 interface,
Yeah,
they
which
are.
an $80 interface that I want to be paying $20 for.
Yeah. Hey, my goal!
Photosynthesis using a blue snowball.
You're hearing one right now, chat. Actually, no, you're hearing a blue snowball ice. This is the shittier version.
Next time, also using a blue snowball. Peony is using a Shure SM7DB. So this is the newest variant of the Shure SM7B.
Oh, I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, so what they did was they just put a preamp inside the inside the mic.
I did hear about that.
Yeah, and so they could charge you an extra $100 for it on top of retail. Yippee!
Yep.
Yeah. So
what I will say, the SSL audio interface, I don't know if Peony Possum is a V singer or whatnot. That is one of the best under $1,000 interfaces you can get. SSL are so unbelievably respected in the audio production world. When you think of, I mean, this isn't a household thing, but like when a music producer thinks of an EQ, like a real physical EQ device, SSL EQ is like what people usually think of. Or like when you think of a big console with all the faders and knobs and stuff, SSL or Neve are usually the ones you think of.
Okay, yeah.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, so this is it's a really good device. Yeah, the SM7DB, I think it's good, but I don't advise people buy it because the problem is you can get. I think that the SM7B is a good microphone, chat, but I only say that because you can buy it for $200 to $250 if you buy it used. Like,
I would imagine, too, this interface probably has more than enough gain to run a regular SM7B.
Yeah.
Because, again, SSL, they know exactly what they're fucking doing. They're like a for professionals type of brand. I can't find, let me see, features. I'm trying to find the exact... Yeah, 62 decibels of gain. That's
okay. So it could have run it anyway. Yeah, because it's cost
you're
basis,
run
right?
Into less issues with a pre-built into the mic.
Because you could buy a good FET head, a good Triton, a good SC Dynamite stick, a good Cloud Lifter for like used for like $80 usually around eBay. And then you can buy a used Shure SM7B for $200 to like $230. Maybe if you get a deal, because I got an SM7B for $165, brand like fucking mint as hell, totally authentic. Like you can get good deals on it because it's such a common microphone. Yeah. The problem with an SM7DB is it's not common. You're going to be paying like $400 to $500 for it. And so it's not worth it until these are more ubiquitous and you can get a good deal on it, basically. I think if you can get an SM7DB for the same cost of buying a used SM7B and a lifter, then sure. You know, if that's specifically the only thing you want to use a lifter for, it's fine.
I'll advise as well, as far as the Shure MV7 goes as well. They, I believe, also introduced a new model of it back in April that really the only difference is it has like a touch strip on it.
Yeah, don't get the MV7
And then they also
Plus.
have like a pure XLR version of it as well, I believe now.
Which the XLR pure XLR version came out slightly after, and it's been a little while. I would advise the pure XLR version if you can get a good deal on it too.
Exactly.
If you can get that for like $160, then that's fine, you know. But I mean, I might still go for a used SM7B in that case though.
Any Shure product, if you can get it at a reasonable price, it's probably worth it. Shure is, again, the golden standard of dynamic microphone.
Yeah, exactly. Flea Flicker has a Samson G-Track Pro.
Looks like a Dollar Tree Blue Yeti.
I've heard some people say, like, Snorlax has one of these, and I heard they say it's okay, but yeah, it's a...
Well, it sounds all right.
I mean, it's an XLR mic, like, so, like, how far are you going to be able to... Yeah, I mean, a USB mic, so how much you're going to be able to get out of it, right? Spief is using a Logitech Blue Sono, which is one of the new... I've heard that this mic's okay. It's, like, fine.
I haven't heard it. I think I've seen it, but I haven't heard it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't imagine Logitech makes a great microphone.
Yeah. Well, I saw Podcastage talk about it, and he said it was fine. He was like, yeah, it's okay. Like, it's not a bad mic. It's not an amazing mic, but it's fine. So... so this is another one of my big recommends when it comes to audio interfaces for streamers. The Wave XLR is one of the best audio interfaces you can get for streaming because it gives you direct access to the Wave Wave software.
Wavelink.
It has 72 decibels of gain. It's extremely similar.
God damn, Elgato. Knocked it out of the fucking park.
Did I miss getting roasted?
I didn't know it had 72. Holy shit.
We have not gotten to you yet, Taka. But yeah, it's got a lot of gain. It's got a ton of gain. It's got really clean preamps. And the thing is, because it's Elgato, it's very commonplace and you can find it everywhere. It goes on sale all the time, brand new. And you can get used ones for like $90.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great, a great interface that I think is one of the best options for streamers, like, period. I love all Elgato products. I think Elgato, like, makes some of the best streamer products out there. Sponsor me. Oh, man. But yeah, good setup, I would say, from Spieth.
Yeah.
Bacon with Eggs has a Shure SM7B with a PreSonus Audio Box i1. I
Oh, the
feel
jury
like that
costume, cute.
can that push?
Oh, actually,
like
I did Biken's audio. Yeah, it absolutely pushed.
it could push it. Yeah,
I
okay.
do remember I did have to add a good amount of extra software gain for them, but it absolutely got the job done. And they had a pretty decently treated space as well.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, this is like 2 or 3 months ago. I mean, I go through so many people a month that sometimes it's hard to remember. But
Yeah, okay,
yeah,
that's good.
I believe Biken had a decent setup, decent treated room, and it pretty much got the job done. Yeah.
Okay,
It
nice.
just
Yeah.
needed a little bit of extra software gain push. Generally speaking, even if like you need to like if your interface doesn't have enough gain to run an SM7B, generally speaking, you can use a good amount of software gain. I wouldn't go higher than like 10 or 15. That's when you're going to get into some crunchy fucking territory. Honestly, the purist in me says don't go higher than 3 or 5, but like, you know,
Is software gain worse than
safely go up
pre-gain?
to like 20ish.
Yes,
What's
software gain is worse than preamp gain. You generally don't want to push a lot of it on it because you can have
software
some distortion.
gain is fake gain basically. Preamp gain is pure real hardware gain. That's like the good stuff. That's what you want.
Yeah.
Software gain is what you kind of don't want.
Yeah, exactly. So Desolate Eclipse is using a Rode PodMic USB, which I think
That's my favorite.
you're a pretty like big fan of the Rode PodMic.
That is my favorite USB microphone. It just gets the job done. You'll even notice it has a very similar form factor to the way that the RE20 has the grills that go down the mic itself. I believe it does a similar thing as a dynamic microphone, which is very rare for USB microphones. It just sounds good, and the main reason I recommend as far as USB microphones this over the Shure MV7 is because the Rode software is a lot more tweakable than the Shure software. The Shure software mostly just uses presets and macros, whereas the PodMic lets you use presets, but it also lets you get a little bit nitty-gritty. Not as much as I would like, but it still lets you get a little bit more detailed, and that to me is the selling factor. And the fact that it sounds less dark than the MV7. You know, it just this is an especially great mic for people with higher voices as well.
Can a USB mic work with a mixer? Some of them do, some of them don't. It depends on if they have an XLR port on them. Some of them, some USB microphones like that that are produced by companies like Rode or Shure do have XLR ports as well. But some of them are just
Mixers
only
need XLR.
Yeah, but some of them only
unless
only
it's
have...
like the Go XLR mixer, where that's all that's doing is controlling a computer program, whereas an actual mixer is controlling gain basically, which you need XLR to take advantage of.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a really nice setup. Violent Albert Ace has a Neumann TLM-103 with a Go XLR. That's
I feel like this is
setup.
your influence, isn't it?
No, actually, they just had this. They had this set up. They're a mutual of mine with a couple of the other femboys. But I had not actually spoken to them before. And these are
a writer for the TLM-103. This has to at least be your influence. A couple degrees of separation, buddy.
I don't know, but
it's a great mic.
It's a fantastic mic. It's one of the best voice acting mics of all time. Like, it really is for price to performance. It's an absolutely fucking incredible microphone, and they are like indestructible. They last fucking forever. They've been produced for the last like almost 30 years at this point. And yeah, like that. It's a fantastic mic. The Go XLR, I'm okay on the Go XLR. I think it's a fine enough mixer. I would not advise
time, but yes, the software is dead.
I would not advise anyone to buy any Go XLR products because, well, the software isn't dead. It has been updating, but like there's been some huge shakiness with how TC Hellion has been handling the Go XLR division of their company. They have fired numerous people from the company and like moved their operations to different places and have a skeleton crew working on the software. So I don't think you should panic if you have a Go XLR device because there is open source software that has been developed and is being developed and will probably continue to exist for it regardless. But
there is shakiness. So
there's shakiness, so it is not worth buying into. It has a lot of cool features on it. It has like, you know, like the actual like switches can be pushed up and down, which is nice. It has effects built into it. It's got a good gain. Yeah, audio splitting built in. It's got a good gain floor. Like there's a lot of things that are very positive about Go XLRs. But I would only buy them if you. Okay, here's the thing. I would say buy a Go XLR if you can get it for $100, and you specifically want the functionality that it has. I think that's what you would want, like, right? Like, or get a mini for like under like $80 if you can even get those. Like, that's
what I'll
But only that,
Finish
yeah.
up. No,
Only. Okay.
Sorry, it's the delay. I promise. Finish.
No, that's it. That's it.
Okay, yeah. What I'll say about the Go XLR is basically the same as Arthur. Yeah, just like if you can get one really cheap, go for it. But like if you have one, don't feel bad. Maybe start looking at options though, because yeah, the future of Go XLR seems shaky, and it's a shame that Go XLR has such a shaky kind of existence right now because there are not a lot of other. I don't think there's any other product. Even the Rodecaster isn't quite doing what the Go XLR is capable of doing. There really isn't anything that is. Do I think those things that it does are like essential? No. But for someone like Ren, who was quick to switch off of it, was looking for an alternative and couldn't really find one, they were really comfortable with the features that it had, that they had a hard time adjusting to something else.
Yeah.
So again, if you get too comfortable with stuff, maybe don't get one. I also think the Go XLR preamps aren't super great either, especially if you're running a TLM 103. I would say at some point you will want to upgrade to a much nicer preamp to really absolutely get the most out of a great microphone like that.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad preamp either. It's not a bad interface.
Yeah, no, I would agree. Yeah, there's definitely a little more, but I mean, for streaming, like I think the OXR is pretty okay, a pretty okay combination. But like but yeah, if you're looking for like upgrade at some point, it might be.
I'm sure they sound great.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they sound great. Yeah. So Chotira Cream uses a Shure SM757 with a Go XLR Mini, which you didn't get the right one image here. The Mini only has this half of it, basically the left half of it. But that's okay.
SM57.
Yeah. SM57 GOAT. One of the best microphones ever made. The best multi-purpose microphone ever, I would say.
What I will say about the SM57, I'm deeply experienced with these as a musician. This is the microphone. This is, if you line up 100 music producers, right, and you ask them what the most capable microphone ever is, they're going to tell you it's the SM57. All 100 of them will probably tell you it's the SM57. If you say what's the best microphone ever, you'll get different answers. But what is the most capable microphone? Maybe even if you ask them what the best dynamic microphone ever is, they will say the SM57. This thing can do everything. You can record drums, you can record guitar, bass,
his fans.
Vocals. He hates his fans. You can record everything with the SM57.
Yes.
There are singers who prefer using that live over the SM58. It's just, it's a jack of all trades, master of a couple. Honestly, I think most producers would probably record a snare drum with an SM57. They wouldn't bother getting anything more expensive on it. Yeah. It is unbelievably good. It's so fucking good.
Yeah, everyone says
and they have another version of it.
I don't think you want to use this on music. I think you put the pop filter on this thing because there's a $15 pop filter by Shure that you can get for this, and I think it's fine for anything. It's great for vocals. On this thing. Yeah,
it's got a screen underneath the grill. It's fine.
Nah, I don't. It's very heavy explosives.
No, dude, people use this thing live as far back as the 80s. You don't need pop filter for this thing. It's a fucking look at super super Japanese punk indie band called Number Girl. They broke up in the early 2000s. They got back together 2 years ago and then broke up again. Shitoku Makai, the singer, if you look up the band Number Girl, any of their concerts, they use this thing for vocals. Every concert. This thing is amazing. For vocals, you don't need a pop filter. I'm with 100% certainty I'm telling you that right now. Shout out to Number Girl, Schoolgirl, Distortional Addict, perfect album.
I still think. Well, I mean, I think that if you use proper mic technique, definitely. But I just know how bad people are.
Listen, if you're breathing up into it, but I mean, for the most part, you
I just assume worst case scenario with people, and people fucking things up, you know. Why does it seem like most mics are mono? Wait, what do you mean by that? By mono? Do you mean they only come through in one ear when you hook them into an XLR, through a 2 USB XLR port mixer? You just set them to mono in OBS when that happens.
Yeah, so in OBS, OBS will probably try to take it as a stereo signal. Holy shit!
Oh shit! Moe, thank you for 20 gift subs. Holy shit! Thank you.
400, baby.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's 400. That's concrete, baby.
But yeah, in OBS, you just go into advanced audio properties and you just click the box that says mono, and it'll start coming through both ears. Every microphone is mono. There's no such thing as a stereo microphone. There's such thing as a stereo pair of microphones. You know?
All microphones are default by mono. But thank you, Moe. Thank you so much for the 20 gift subs. Thank you so much, and also, thank you, Crip, for the 1 gift sub as well. What was the 400? What was the 400 thing that I put on the thingy? I can't remember. I actually can't remember what I put on the what the next goal that we just hit was.
Someone check. I don't know.
I'm checking. We just hit the Wrestling Empire stream goal, so Blaine is happy. Finally, I will play a video game. What everyone has always wanted.
Gamer Imp coming back. Let's go.
No. Because mic capsules are mono, you would need 2 capsules in it to be stereo. Yeah, there are stereo microphones out there, absolutely. But
yeah. I mean, I said there's no such thing as a stereo mic. That was what's the word I'm looking for? Sardonic.
Yeah.
But
only 800 subs away from Nikkei. Oh God.
They're for specialized things. It's like those like microphones that have like the figure 8 patterns and shit like that. Those will be like stereo or whatever. But generally speaking, the average like good microphone that is just used for a regular
it's just
audio
cardioid
application is just mono.
Cardioid
mono.
Yep. Did Nagi once buy a stereo set of that one mic? I don't think she ended up just buying. I bought her one because it was really, really expensive to buy Neumann TL103s in her country. So I found her a TL103 for $600 in America, and then she just gave me the money, and then I gave it to her at Off Guy. So that to save on because she was considering buying a stereo pair for $1,500. Yeah, it had the shock mounts, which is nice, right?
Was she gonna do ASMR with it or something?
No, she just wanted it. She
wanted a stereo pair.
She just wanted a stereo pair for the fuck. Well, her idea was she could like give the other one to me because this was before I had one too. We would just like I would just buy one off her, or she could just sell the other one at some point. But we just found it a better priced option, and she got the nice wood box with it too. Which is something. Yeah. But yeah, SM57, I think one of the best microphones ever made, and it's very good for streaming, I think. Another thing with this is because it is such a common microphone that has been around and produced since the 1960s, you can buy these at various random like pawn shops for cheap. I once bought 2 of these, Tomo, on eBay with a bag, $60 shipped.
Dog, you messaged me like the second that happened too. I know, yeah.
and then I bought them at pawn shops for $50 each. Like you can find these it's a $100 mic, but you can get them like at 50% or less of retail all the fuck over the place.
The really important thing about this mic and the SM58 as well is that they are nigh indestructible. I know everybody always makes the joke about like how Nokia phones are indestructible, but who the fuck owns a Nokia phone in 2024? What people should be using as that metaphor is the Shure M57, because you can literally beat this thing against concrete for an hour and it'll sound the same. Yeah,
same with the 58.
I did. Yeah. I literally toured with an SM58. In 2015, we did 10 shows in like 2 weeks, like a week and a half. I beat that thing against a crash cymbal several times every set, and it didn't even fucking dent.
Yeah, I have seen videos of bands putting the fucking SM58 underneath the tire of their tour bus, driving over it with 3 tires, picking it back up, and it sounds exactly the fucking same and still works.
Indestructible.
Yeah.
It is a buy it for life mic. You pay $90 and you will never have to buy another one.
Yep. So, Tang Orangutan has a Rode Pod mic and a Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 3rd gen. Which is, good shit. Good, pretty good. So, I mean, you said, I don't know. See, I've had a couple of Rode Pod mics, and I found them kind of noisy. I don't know. Maybe I was just like not using them properly or something. But because I know a lot of people really like
this
microphone.
You'll have to set the filters up. Like, it's not a perfect, it's not like you're going to get like a perfect microphone with like a low noise floor or anything. But like, if you just little basic tweak, just the automatic noise suppression in OBS, you're fine.
Yeah, that's
the
fair.
Good one, not the Speaks one.
Yeah.
What is a Delta?
Jake's creating has a Deity VO7U. Another Amazon special on this one. The Temu Classic. I cannot comment. It looks like a generic like $20 microphone. Let's see. Kagurafe has a Shure SM7B with a UE Apollo Twin X. Oh, baby. Oh, buddy.
Let me tell you about the Apollo. Besides the babyface audio interface, the Apollo is the best audio interface you can get. It is the second best audio interface that you can buy with money. There aren't better interfaces. There's one better interface. I'm sorry, the babyface.
What amount of gain does the Apollo Twin X have?
I think 80. Let me check.
Holy shit.
it's pretty fucking juiced. Let me.
Wow, juice to the gills, juice like a fucking modern like fitness influencer.
Let me see. Just like looking through it. It's like a good fucking amount though. Where is it? Is it gonna say in the manual, or am I gonna have to like look on their website? Apollo Twin X. Okay. It's a good amount, but more so speaking, the preamp is unbelievably clean. It is so nice, and it has built-in DSP. That is like Universal Audio's best thing. Universal Audio makes some of the best audio plugins. God, their Space Echo emulation sounds like the real thing. It's fucking amazing. Where is the specs on this thing? I don't know. I want to say it's like 80-ish though. It's not listed on the website accessibly anyway.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. But
yeah, it's a good.
Regardless, this is one of the best interfaces. Period. That there is. Like it's honestly more high end than most streamers would ever need. But it's. I would
imagine Kagurafe is probably a V-Singer if I had to guess.
Oh yeah,
to have
absolutely.
An interface this good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, that's the only case you would buy. Yeah, if you're very wealthy and money is not really an option, not any issue, then get one of these. Or if you're like want to be a professional level V-Singer, then but I mean, as you said, a Shure SM7B, good mic. Angler has a Shure SM7B with a Go XLR setup.
Solid.
Yep, solid classic setup.
Classic streamer setup.
Yep. Let's see.
Hale
a Hale PR40. Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Looks kind of like an AT2020.
Yeah, it looks like an AT2020 clone. It looks like probably.
Yep.
And then a Focusrite Scarlett Solo 3rd gen.
Probably okay.
Toma Tango is using a Trust Amida.
What is that? That looks like XLR. I guess they didn't include what interface.
Yeah.
Never heard of it. Can't speak on it.
No. Yeah. I mean, but it looks like. Listen, I will say something. Any microphone that comes with a Chinesium shock, like mic arm, I do not have much confidence in. I do not have much confidence in it. Yeah, this is an Amazon special in a nutshell.
$98 on Amazon. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, yeah. Zan Channel has a Rode NT1 with a Go XLR Mini.
Baby.
Yeah.
Fucking love the NT1. That is like the flagship Rode mic.
Yeah, the NT1A is better for specific voices, but I think it's a slightly worse microphone than just the NT1. The NT1 is a fucking so the NT1 is basically, for all intents and purposes, it is a clone of the Neumann U87, of one of the greatest condenser microphones of all time. That they took a $3,700 microphone and they boiled it down into a $200 one.
Yeah. To bring back up the idea of like lining up 100 music producers and asking them what the best condenser microphone is, they would tell you it's the U87, the U67, and the U47. You'll probably get those three amongst all 100 of them, and they all have different characteristics. But it's basically a U87 clone, the NT1A as far as
for all intents and purposes. Yeah, it's got a good capsule.
Very NT1, I actually thought they were kind of similar.
Yeah, it's got a very smooth and like what's the word I'm looking for? It sounds like very flat. It's got a flat sound with a little bit of shimmer at the top end. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and the thing that makes the U87 so easy to clone as well is that the 67 and the 47 use actual vacuum tubes inside of them that need like extra power stages, whereas the 87 is entirely digital circuitry.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's absolutely not as good as I wouldn't even say it's as good as it's not as good as any Neumann microphone, but it gets like 80% of the way there for 10% of the cost. So that's at that point, it is well worth it. The Rode NT1 is one of my personal recommendations. When we get to recommendations, you will see it in my recommendations. Carmine is using a blow snowball. Oh, the poor boy. The poor boy. Callie, my good friend Cal Sally, one of the best face cam was underrated face cam streamers on the platform, is using Elgato Wave 3.
Classic.
Absolute
Great
classic. Cosmine is using a NT1A with a Focusrite Scarlett Solo 3rd Gen.
Good setup.
Yep, good setup, very solid. Puff Cheeto is using an Elgato Wave 3.
Yep.
So Shio is currently using a Blue Yeti, but they soon will be upgrading to an SM58 and a Focusrite Scarlett 4i4 3rd Gen. Who knows where that could be coming from? Who knows? It could
Is
be
that coming from you.
It could be coming from anywhere across the pond.
Yeah, no. So what I will say about this combo is that if you're looking to get the most basic, reliable combination of XLR microphone and audio interface, yeah, SM58 and a Scarlett, go for it. You know, you can't go wrong. They're both the most trusted in their respective categories.
Yeah, it sounds fantastic. Good broadcast sound, good for room noise rejection. And a 4i4 has a ton of extra. I literally just stumbled across this 4i4 at a pawn shop for really cheap. So it has additional gain to help drive the SM58 a little higher.
Plus, the SM58 it's not as gain hungry as something like the SM7B either. So you can get away with it because again, they just plug that thing into any mixer that they have at any music venue and it just works. You know.
Yeah. So Odasai has a very interesting combination of audio. So it's an MXL 770, which I don't like MXL microphones. I'm pretty
I don't mind
staunch about them.
The 2020 is a solid budget mic, I think.
They just
or the 220.
They're just so noisy. They're all all their microphones have such a high noise floor.
They have a decent character, I think. Some of them. I don't know about all of them, but there's some decent MXL mics. I've used some of their stuff as kind of supplements for the absence of a Beta 52A for kick drums and stuff before. They're not terrible.
And then
especially with a good preamp like this, an external preamp.
Yeah, they run it through an Arttube MP product series through a Steinberg UR8816C. I mean,
Clearly must be a musician.
Yeah, I would just expect a different microphone. I mean, maybe this is just tonal qualities that really fit her voice. But
that's exactly it. Yeah.
I would expect something higher end for because that's a high end musician audio chain for preamping.
That's exactly it. You know, we're saying kind of mixed things about MXL, but ultimately at the end of the day, if this is a musician who really knows what they're doing and found what works for them, that's really the gist of it. You know, again, Taylor Swift uses a $400 Aventone microphone as opposed to a Neumann. You know what I mean?
Because it works for her best.
Maybe this is someone who just figured it works best for them. They found exactly what works.
Yeah, we don't know if they've gone through. They could have gone through dozens of microphones to find this. Yeah,
because there's a lot of software now that will just kind of, with sort of algorithmic stuff and AI, will be able to kind of find those sweet spots and tell you kind of what you need. The Slate. What's it called? What's that microphone? The Slate Sphere microphone. They bought it from Townsend Audio. It emulates other microphones. You know, that type of technology will allow you to kind of figure out what works best for you and then buy it. You know, in the real deal eventually. But yeah, anyways, good setup. Cool setup.
Yeah, really cool setup.
The most interesting one so far.
A Westfield has a Rode Pod mic and a Focusrite Scarlett 3rd Gen. Yep, pretty standard.
Good stuff.
Katsu is... Oh, no, Katsu. Oh, Katsu, you still here, buddy? I know it's 10 o'clock at night over there, but, oh, no. Whew.
Not a fan of this one.
We hate HyperX as a company. HyperX is possibly worse than Blue at this point with their... RGB gamer garbage, overpriced, low quality, wrong use case trash that they sell to people.
Now, let me interject before we get too cruel, though. Genuinely, please don't feel bad that you have this. It genuinely is an okay microphone. It gets the job done. You probably sound great with it if you get your filters set up, and you sound okay out the box. They're not the most reliable microphones, though, and that's why we kind of are a little hard on it because they're not reliable. They're not the highest quality. You will probably have to get another microphone.
The
within the next
knob
10
on the
years.
bottom is fucking terrible. Like because they adjust the gain via fucking like little like rounded knob on the bottom that like is easy to bump and mess up. Like it's the very fact that they use RGB lighting inside the microphone is a fucking selling point is the reddest flag in the entire world. Like that is the was the exact termage that was used in the video that Taka and I were watching yesterday. It's this on the scale of red flags. This is all the flags painted hard red, walking up to the United Nations, all running along the path up to it. Like
it's awful. It's so easy to bump. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I mean this goes for everyone too. Yeah, just like don't feel bad. We're just kind of on here as like discerning audio like hobbyists, you know.
Yeah.
I'm a professional.
Or feel bad and feel guilted and pressured into upgrading your audio into something better.
No, I'm not going to come on here and be fucking classist. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna get the job done. But yeah, eventually, again, like I was saying earlier, if you just want to upgrade to something super reliable, super cheap, SM58 and the Scarlet are like
Scarlet Solo
bread and butter.
Gen 3 or Gen 4 and an SM58 can get you where you want to be, and it'll be modular if you ever want to change out to something else.
Yeah, it sucks to say, but we're only 2 months out from Black Friday, so keep that in mind. How the fuck is it September, my guy?
Holy shit, dude. Yeah, time keeps moving,
I don't like
moving,
it.
and moving, dude. Oh man, Phantom Flan is using a Blue Yeti.
Arthur, why don't you take this one?
You've got a cute design plan.
Is this the first straight up Blue Yeti we've seen so far? We saw like the Yeti X earlier.
We've just seen people use a couple of the Photoshoppers just added the wrong picture. But yeah, I mean it's you know, it's a Blue Yeti product. It's not gonna be great for most use cases. It's just kind of there. It's only worth the price upgrade. I'm a living example of it now. Concert's worth it. Yeah. Could you write that down? I can't tell if that was SM50. If you look sure of SM58 or 57 and
pin that.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, I don't even know if you need a 2x2. You can honestly get a solo because it's a little cheaper.
You could, you actually could get a solo.
Yeah. It's hard to tell the X versus the regular at a glance unless you're familiar with how the square it is. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so Mavantri.
Cute costume. What the flip?
Yeah, very cute. They are using an MB7 USB and a Focusrite Scarlett Solo 4th Gen. Good combo. Yeah, solid combo.
Gets the job done. Again, like we said, you're gonna see the Focusrite everywhere on this. You know, it's so popular.
Ari is using the Lewitt LCD 240 Pro and a PreSonus Revelator IO24. I wonder how she could have.
You're the Lewitt expert.
I wonder.
What do you think about this mic?
I was the one who gave it to her.
That's where you were going with that. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a good mic. It's a little noisy, a little teeny tiny bit noisy, but it's not as good as the 440 Pro. Not nearly as good as the 440 Pro, but it's a very good budget option if you get it for a good deal, which I did get it for a good deal. And you know, the Revelator IO24. This is when I was recommending people the IO24, the IO24 and the 44 series. And they when they work with your computer, they work very, very well, and it is a very good interface. Fails to pronounce her name. I brought her this mic. Well, no, I call her Ari Pie, but a lot of people say a Rippy. So I have to use both termages of the name, even though I've been calling her Ari Pie for fucking 4 years.
You could say Blade or Blady. I prefer Blady. That's what the Swedish rapper Blady says.
But yeah, Ari's got a good. She sounds good. She sounds good. She sounds clear. It was better than what she previously had. I can't remember what she was using previously, but it was I think it was an AT2020. I think she was on an AT2020 prior.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I wanted to help her out on that. Yeah. It's Ruri. Ruri. So Ruri is on a SM7B and a Go XLR as well, and she sounds great. The one of our local Sonic autists. The image image drawn by Taka. I forgot I picked that image. It's a good picture. It was a really good picture for it. Let's see. Hio Koda, who is using one of those really nice Amori models, one of those gorgeous Amori models, is using an AT.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
love those.
An AT4040 and a Focusrite Scarlett Solo 4th Gen, which is a good combo. I really so my microphone journey, Tomo, went from I initially started with advice from my Oshi from Koopa. I started on an SEV7 with a dynamic, a super cardio dynamic, with a Yamaha AG03, and then I eventually upgraded to a AT4040 that I found at a pawn shop, and then I got it for like $100. It was like a really good deal, and then I eventually from that. On the advice of a audio engineer, upgraded to the setup I have right now of the PreSonus Revelator IO44 and the LCT 440 Pure, and it's been I've never looked back. These microphones are great. I think the Audio-Technica 44 just didn't fit me as well as the 440 does. I was originally upside down, but I couldn't help it but like it like that. It is really funny when she's not hanging on the ceiling. Merciless Moon has a Blue Yeti.
Another one.
Yep, another Blue Yeti. So many Blue Yetis. So many Blue Yetis out there.
So let's play a new game. How about 1 sub per Blue Yeti? To me. Mayuism has a Shure MV7X, which is the newest variant. This is the new one. Yeah, this is the new one. The new one right.
with the lights and everything, with the Go XLR.
Wait, no, is X the XLR version? Hold up, let me.
Wait, is it the
I think the MV7 Plus is the new version with the the MV7 Plus is the one that uses like the new touch panel thing, and the MV7X is the X for XLR.
Yeah. So this is the cheaper variant. The cheapest variant of the Shure MV7 is the XLR variant because they remove all the USB stuff inside of it, so they can boost it cheaper. And that's the one that unless you specifically are only going for an XLR, I mean a USB mic, I would say go for this if you really really want this microphone and its style, because it's it's
a good price. What are they, like $200? MV7X, they're like $179. Like that's not a bad price for basically
brand new.
An SM7B.
Yeah, and you can get them used on eBay for like $130 all day. So yeah. Ooh, look at that! There, I was just talking about it. The SEV7, they have the MK edition, which is just a different like variant of how they look. The SEV7 it's a super cardioid dynamic, and it's really good.
Yeah,
it's really good. It sounds
I'll take your word on
super duper good. Yeah, you should check out some audio tests on it sometime. It sounds fantastic. On a Focusrite Scarlett 2i2, it's very comparable to the SM58 in a lot of ways. Maybe even a little cleaner.
58, yeah.
Yeah. Kind of looks like Spider-Man. Don't ask me why. Mortal Kombat edition microphone.
Red shimmer to it.
Let's see. Random Alive has an Elgato Wave 3, another absolute classic. Dozy Studios has an Audio-Technica 2020 USB. God,
I didn't know they made a USB version.
Oh yeah, and it's so much worse. It's even worse.
I would imagine that probably just adds more noise.
It's a rough boy. It's a very rough boy. Liquid Grim is using a HyperX Quadcast S.
We got another one.
Yeah, we won't go over it again. We've already talked about our disdain for the HyperX brand. Rax Arcade is using an Ashton Stealth, which is actually a very good mic brand, apparently. I didn't know much about the Ashton, but yeah, apparently they're very heavily regarded. They're a more niche company, but...
Yeah, I have heard of the Ashton. The Ashton Origin is fucking amazing for room sounds.
Yeah.
It's the only mic I've heard by them. So I would actually imagine this thing probably could be pretty good, because the Ashton Origin's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's probably really fucking good. So Yasharo has a Rode VOD mic Go 2.
Never heard of that one.
And a Steel Series GG mixer. Oh, I think this one got a little messed up because that's a Rode NT1 and a Rode like some other Rode microphone. But so the Steel Series GG mixer sucks. First of all,
I have Steel Series headphones. They're not great. I'm upgrading to a Biodynamic and a Sennheiser very soon.
Yeah, but a Video Mic Go, by the way, that's literally a
So like
microphone.
shotgun mic?
No, it's a microphone that's used for cameras.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
looking at it now. Whoa, that's wild.
Hold on, let me go. Send me a picture real
It
quick.
looks like a mini shotgun. Yeah, hold up. Let me. Rode video mic go to. Yeah, it straps to the top of a camera. Like,
Yeah. It's
this
another
is
person.
it.
Another person sent me has a video mic too as well. And they sent me. They said, "Oh, it's always picking up like room noise." And I'm like, "Yeah, because it's meant to like, or like someone across the room instead of me." And it's like, "Yeah, because it's supposed to be strapped to the top of a fucking camera for
I would
recording."
assume it's a mini shotgun. Yeah.
Yeah, this is not good for streaming at all. Like, this is a really bad mic for streaming, and should probably be upgraded to something else. Yeah. Oh, here's
What?
oh.
Okay. I was
I
like,
see.
it's the same person.
Oh, yeah. I see. Okay. Yeah.
I was like, another one back to back.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Yeah, this is Serial Series GG Mixer and the Rode Video Mic Go 2, which is bad combo. Please upgrade. Please change it. Sell these and get something else, because you've got a shit mixer with a microphone that is not properly tuned for your environment or streaming whatsoever. Like you got to be able to find something better than this.
I'll have to hear it. I won't comment. I'll have to hear it.
Ash Kradas has an AKG P120, which I'm not a big fan of AKG's low-end microphones, honestly.
They're okay.
I thought
Their higher end obviously gets solid, but
yeah, their higher end gets a little solider, though they're not as good as they used to be. After they got bought out by Samsung, they really started to. The classic audio world conundrum chat is company was good, then company gets bought out by big company, and company sucks after.
that's why everybody's really worried about Moog synthesizers, because they just Robert Moog passed away a couple years ago, and then they finally just earlier this year sold the company to a Chinese company. So have fun finding a made in USA Moog for less than $50,000 in a couple years.
God damn it. Yeah, fuck, man. So Rodos VT has a Samsung satellite, which is I believe
a lot of Samsung.
Yeah, a lot of Samsungs. Samsung. I think a Samsung's just really popular as like an Amazon special kind of thing.
Kind of like an Amazon brand, yeah.
Yeah. Yakiro has another HyperX Quadcast.
The gamer mic.
ClayDub19 has a Blue Yeti Blackout, which I think is
Blackout.
I don't even know
is
the
it
difference.
Just a colorway?
I don't know. I don't know the difference between.
I would imagine.
I don't know the difference between the X, the standard, and the Blackout.
Yeah, it's just a colorway.
Oh, okay.
It's the black color.
Miwei has a HyperX Quadcast S. Yeah. Oh man. Brutal. Lost Arsonist, who is they are one of our local editors and meme creators, has a very good setup. They have a Shure SM7B and a Focusrite Scarlett Solo, the 2nd gen.
Yeah.
Most I could find was just color. Oh, okay. Yeah. Solid setup. Mission Luke with an Audio-Technica AT 2020 USB.
Talked about the hose.
Yeah, we talked about those. Phantom Fox
NC1A.
Kage has a 1T1A and Scarlett Solo 3rd gen. Yep, solid, very, very solid setup.
Yeah.
ClickN VA has a Hypercast XS, and sir, you should really, if you're a VA, you should really get something that's not this.
You could do better VA with an SM58.
You could do better VA by screaming across the room and getting picked up on a microphone.
Tin can on a string.
Yeah. Ruby Rose.
Could you imagine if someone fucking submitted that as a reply, just as a goof, like, yeah, I used these 2 fucking cans of beans and this string I got out of the drawer.
Nano did. I didn't make a graphic for it.
Oh, what the fuck? See, Nyano's funny. See, Nyano, we're on that level, dog.
Thank you for the follow. Thank you. But Ruby Rose has a Shure SM57 and a Scarlett Solo Gen 3. Yep, solid. Dawn has an Audio-Technica 2020 USB, and he'll always all caps say, "What do you mean? What do you mean, mate? Oi, mate."
No wonder you always clip, Dawn.
Yeah, I wonder why.
It's part of his brand at this point, to be fair.
Arcadian has a Samsung Q2U, which is another, you know, like we've seen a lot of Q2Us popping around as an SM57 clone. Bakunawa VT has an audio technica AT 2020 with a Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 3rd gen.
Pretty common, not the best, but common.
Not the best, but a common setup. Crypt has a.
What the fuck is this? Currently unavailable on Amazon. How the fuck much does this go MSRP? $38.
She sounded amazing through it. Mine not so much. It's better than a Blue Yeti. Looking to upgrade near the end of the year. I need 2 mics set up for what I plan to do though. Yeah, definitely upgrade.
If you're looking for a 2 mic setup, it depends what you want to do. Like if you're doing ASMR, honestly, Rode M5 matched pair. Like $200, you get the 2 great Rode matched pair pencil mics. It's like the same shit as what goes in that stupid fucking ear microphone. If that's what you're doing, if that's what you need 2 mics for, I don't know what else you would need 2 mics for.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, hey, I was like, hi, welcome. We actually, I don't know if you were here, but we did talk about your audio setup being extremely unique. I had a question for you. So why do you use that MXL? Do you specifically use it because it is it fits your voice profile? Like, have you gone through a number of different setups? Because like that was a very unique and high-end, interesting audio path that you were putting it through, and I've always considered. I've always considered MXLs kind of like a little weird.
Is this the person that had the MXL?
Yes.
Oh yeah, we were talking about you. Are you a singer by any chance? Because to me that setup gave me the impression that like you know what you're doing and found a mic that just works for you. Is that the case? Because like why else would you have a fucking tube preamp and like a really long interface with lots of inputs, right?
Yeah, exactly. You can't chew the rubber ears without the rubber ears, though.
Nice setup, though. Yeah. Need a mic for my art station? Oh, yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense, yeah. Forest Roller VT has a HyperX Quadcast.
Another one.
Yeah, another one. Another one.
In the jar.
Yeah, put another penny in the sin jar. Ramen VTuber has an Elgato Wave 3. Yep, solid. Yeah.
I've never heard of that Wave 3.
Yep, no, I really haven't. Yeah, it's very difficult to make your Wave 3 sound like
never
shit.
heard an amazing one, but like they get the job done. They're solid.
Yeah.
Top Blue Yeti.
Top Tim's another Blue Yeti.
That's the Blue Yeti Blackout.
Yeah.
Newer NW.
Zalilthas has a newer NW700 with a Behringer Euphoria UM2. I don't know much about Newer as a brand, but they feel like an Amazon special to me.
I haven't heard of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Can't say anything.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that the stock image has like an Amazon Basics XLR cable plugged into it, really, like that, like that tells me a lot of what I need to know, I think.
Behringer interfaces are probably good, not great,
Yeah.
Behringer.
Pretty standard.
I'm a freak for my Behringer synths, but that's an entirely different product line,
Yeah.
Behringer synths are fucking amazing. Oh my god.
It's basically just for chatting. I usually use vocoders for my voice in my music. Oh, okay.
Oh, yep. See, I knew it. Yep. Ooh, vocoders. Ooh, we should link up. I want to talk about that.
Newer on Amazon special. They do great lighting. Haven't experienced their mics though. Oh, okay. And then, Raffo Phantom VT has a Rode NT USB. Okay, yeah, and we don't know much about the quality of these, but like we assume they're okay based on it being a Rode product. Mortal Martin VT has a Shure SM7B and a UA Volt as their primary, and they have an MA87, which I believe is I think this is a pretty decent clone of the U87. Yeah, I think it's a pretty decent U87 clone. I feel like I heard about this from a couple of the audio channels that I watch of that. It sounds amazing.
I'd have to hear it,
Yeah.
Because I'm looking them up. They're like fairly inexpensive, so I would have to hear, kind of compared to one. But like, again, Behringer clones products for like an eighth of the price. So I mean, possible some other brand could too, especially when the schematics become public domain.
Yeah. It's by Melon Audio. Yeah, I remember I watched this YouTube video. Hold on, let me pull the video real quick. I watched this YouTube video. It popped in my recommended feed. And I found it very interesting. Hold on, let me see if I can get the proper spacing for this. It's a little weird with how we're positioned, but this will be fine. This will be fine.
But yeah, the UFO tried to get
This
another
is the
interface,
most popular Pro Studio condenser microphone of all time, the Neumann U87. Known for capturing iconic vocals for the past 55 years, its successful reputation has placed it on the top of most producers' dream microphone list. But unfortunately, this reputation comes at quite the cost, and for most, it remains a dream. Until now. To all my
I will say he's sucking it off a little too much. Like, it can't be that good. But let's take a look at what's actually in the box.
Gotta get
real
the
quick.
side by sides.
Yeah.
I was quite surprised. Packed with accessories, the MA87 comes with a shock mount.
That is really cool that it has like a clone of the a clone shock mount for $50 out the door. Like.
Wind filter, XLR cable, and the microphone itself, which in terms of design has a similar look to the original U87. I have to mention, for $47 you would expect a lot.
I believe Melon Audio is also the company, I want to say they're the company that makes the really nice like wood boxes for a lot of like very popular microphones. Like I bought one of their boxes for my SM57. I mean my SM7B. And they make very nice carrying cases too, I think.
More plastic, but surprisingly in terms of build quality, the metal build of the mic body and grille is quite solid, and once fully set up, the MA87 definitely looks the part. But
yes,
it looks like a real one. I'll give them that.
Here it is. Yes, they're gonna talk about it.
Most of them do not come with a sleek wooden case. If you own a budget condenser microphone like an AT2020 or NT1A or even a TLM102, Melon Audio have many microphone case designs to protect your mic.
I have one of these boxes and it's really nice.
Okay. Oh, those are the ones
If
that
you're
come with the
interested
warm
in
mics.
getting yourself a
Yeah.
microphone case, I'll leave a link down in the description below. Now that we got the NT1 out the case, it's time to see what this MA87 is all about. Your mouth is a revolver, flying bullets in the sky.
Oh no, he's got the Imagine Dragons pill.
Your love is like a soldier.
Add some electric guitars, you got Sleep Token.
Sounds pretty good.
I've been looking at the stars for a long
It's mixed in quite well.
I've been putting out fires all my life.
Does he do spoken word on it, or is he just singing on it?
On fire.
Oh, here we go.
Spark in our bonfire. Love like ours. You light the spark in our bonfire. So for 40
Sounds okay, I would say.
White, green, night, blind. Shy eye, flying night, shy eye, flaming eye. I. Big mighty kite, night, ice kite.
Be nice.
Chad, I found Sleep Token unmasked. He's right there.
Oh man. Sounds a little distorted, but it might just be the singing. Yeah, I think he really should have probably done some more spoken word vocal tests. I always like those a lot more personally, but yeah, but I mean, it's a kind of it's an interesting microphone. Now you can't, I mean, for $50, like whatever, like it's just not much of a loss if it's not that good. But Mika Minato uses a Shure MV7 USB.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Amphos with a Blue Yeti.
Good stuff.
I mean, good stuff, quotation marks.
Good stuff.
Beer Seedell, a Blue Snowball.
My goat.
Junie Renz has a Razer Siren X.
It's basically the Siren Mini.
Yeah, basically the Siren Mini in a slightly different form factor. Still just as shitty. 12 Rabbits with a blue, another Blue Yeti. Let's see. Katomi Snacks, friend of mine, has a Shure SM7B with a Focusrite Scarlett Solo Gen 3, which is pretty good. I think she said she got it as a gift from her community.
Yeah, classic combo again. If you use software gain, you can get it up to sounding loud enough.
Yeah.
Bud,
our boy Bud with a Samson G-Track Pro.
He sounds fine to me.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I don't know.
he sounds fine. So I guess it's okay
the
for
G-Track
you.
Pro's okay. I don't know.
Yeah. My Kamioshi Joel uses it, so it's fine for streams. Okay. I've never heard of the Zoom ZD-M1 before.
Never.
Looks fat as fuck.
Yeah.
Looks like a big
like a round
fucking
boy.
Big, round, wide boy.
The fucking Panopticon.
But an Elgato Wave XLR, and as we said earlier in the stream, Wave XLR, one of my favorite streamer mixers out there. Yeah.
Fucking 75 of gain, like that's
Yeah.
Like goddamn.
It's good.
Another Volt.
Ooh.
Oh, and a Loudon. Oh
Dude,
my
a Loudon
goodness.
LA220 with a UA Volt 2. Oh, I'm gonna come.
This
Oh my
thing's
god.
gonna sound like a fucking dream.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful.
The Volt preamp is so good. I didn't really have a chance to get into it earlier, but like if I had to get a different interface at the price point of the Claret, which is what I have, the Focusrite Claret is the upgraded version of the Scarlet. I would get the Volt 176 that has the compressor built into it. That's actually another one I should have given to you for the recommendations is the UA Volt 176 because it has an 1176 FET style compressor built into it.
Oh.
It's not like exactly, and it doesn't have like attack release, input output controls, but like it just does a nice solid like 2 ratio compression, not super aggressive, just nice and sweet. I've used them. I don't have one, but like they're nice. The Volt stuff, and obviously the Loudon microphones are just fucking unbelievable modern standard. For microphones.
I believe Loudon are produced by a small Silicon Valley like family-owned company, right? Like right down there in California.
I believe so. Yeah. I know that they're just a very popular Hollywood mic at the time, or Hollywood like mic manufacturer.
I can see that I can see the capsule through the grill that looks very similar to a Neumann capsule. It might be even the same capsule. I don't know.
I didn't want to say it's like a modern Neumann, but like they are kind of like the modern kind of equivalent of what Neumann was doing back in the 50s, 60s, 70s. They are very much like a gold standard for modern microphone productions.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Must sound amazing.
Gingy has a Shure SM7B with an Elgato Wave XLR. Good combo. Always really solid. Let's see. Another HyperX quadcast. Dude, if I could... I'm almost starting to hate HyperX more than I hate Blue. I'm going to be real with you. If
I had a HyperX quadcast for every HyperX quadcast we've seen so far, I could start a grift. I could start a grift.
You could start selling them to streamers as amazing microphones for streaming. Bunzel has a Blue Yeti X. And I believe he told me like don't calm down, don't worry. I got it on sale. I was like,
listen, if we can hear you. Ooh, the pod mic with the prop filter. Nice.
He also has a C1U as well. Yeah. Creamy now has a Rode pod mic with a pop filter and a Rodecaster Pro 2, that's a really high end like. That's a big boy to have as your primary mixer for streaming. I'll say that. Like, it's a little excessive.
Gets the job done.
Yeah, but it gets the job done.
If they need it, they need it.
Yeah, exactly.
They might use all the features.
Creature with a Rode pod mic and a Focusrite Scarlett Solo 3rd Gen.
It's a really cute design too.
Yeah.
But yeah, must sound pretty good.
Atlas uses a Samsung Q2U. Yep, another Q2U. Sleepsy uses a Shure SM58 and an Elgato Wave XLR, which who knows how he could have gotten these.
Does that help? Okay, yeah, I believe I helped Sleepsy set up his audio as well. Sounds good now,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's an SM58 super natural sounding, so it takes just a little bit of tweaking to really shine with it, but it sounds really natural and good on its own too.
Yeah, he's got the one with the switch on it too. I found one with the switch at a pawn shop.
Nice. I believe those actually aren't capacitative either. Like the actual like switches, they're just a straight up like signal cut. So that's good on those. Oh, here's Taka.
Oh, there she is. There's the Mado. So yeah, Mado. We helped set up her. Tomo did. I just sat there and was
sat there and I called you a twink a few times in front of your friend.
Twiddled my thumbs a little bit. Yeah, but.
Taka, we're friends now too, by the way. I didn't mean that. I mean, we're friends too now. I'm just saying.
I don't know who this is.
Yeah, you sound good to me.
But
I hope.
Yeah, Taka is using a Focusrite Scarlet, a 2i2 3rd gen with a Triton FET head, and a Shura SM7B that was recently set up. And you will be able to hear that tonight, by the way, chat, when Taka does a stream later on. You will be able to hear her crispy maid voice. And yeah, she is very well set up. She sounds great. No one uses the Verge BA85A. At least not yet, no. Nanomancer, the kitty cat. So Nanomancer came from the Personas Revelator era when I was recommending people this mixer, but it works well for him. And he uses a Neumann TLM 103. You know what's funny? Myself, Nagi, and Nano all got our TLM 103s at like the exact same time. We got it within like 2 weeks of each other. We all bought ours.
Yeah, I feel like I remember that that era. I remember you were messaging me a lot, very excited. I remember like specifically being like out for a walk, like listening to like The Pillows or some shit, and you were just like constantly messaging me like, guess what I got, guess what I got, guess what I got, like kicking your feetsies.
I am happy. I'm happy it works. At first I thought it was fake because apparently like the Gen 1 TLM 103s used epoxy glue on the fucking motherboards, which is insane. Like, why would you put epoxy glue on the fucking circuit boards for a $1,200 microphone? But yeah, I messaged Neumann and they were like, yeah, no, that's how we did it in like the first like few years of the generations of these things. That's authentic. But yeah, it looked fake at first. I want it noted that the file name is Takamaka Tobacco.
What?
Hitomobina, another Arthur classic. So Tina got my AT4040 after I upgrade because I believe she was on an AT2020, and I upgraded her to the 4040, and she sounds great with it. But she's on a Focusrite Scarlet Solo, a 3rd gen, and an AT4040. Jonesy with the streamer special, the Shure SM7B and the Go XLR.
Shout out Jonesy. Jonesy sounds good, you know?
Yeah, he sounds good. He's also one of those streamers who's always like he's always like futzing with his audio. He's like, I gotta make it better.
Jonesy, just come to me, dog. We're pals, you know that.
Yeah, I think he's already very well set up. Ooh, another Arthur special.
Ruby?
Right. Haru with the Shure SM57 and the Go XLR. I gave her the choice. I had like a bunch of different mixes. I was like, okay, I got a Go XLR. I got a Wave XLR. I've got like the Personas, and I was like, which one do you think you would want the most? And she's like, I'm gonna go XLR, and I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, she sounds great. Okay, so Pesto Pete with an Ashen Spirit, which I believe is the Ashen. You said Ashens are a great microphone brand.
Yeah, the Origin's the one I know, but yeah, I would assume this one looks like the Origin too, so I would assume it's probably like a similar design, probably solid.
Yeah.
Shout out Peso Pete.
And then the Focusrite Scarlet Solo 3rd gen, which is it's a standard bearer. Okay, so Capio has the double Fine, the K688 with the Ampy Games SC3 mixer, which I think I've seen reviews of the Ampy Games mixer, and it's like it's low end, but it's fine for the price. I think what I've seen.
Can't really say much. I don't really know. I've never heard them, so
yeah. Ray Sinclair with yet another Elgato Wave 3, the millionth Elgato Wave 3. But thank God that we're seeing it. I'll say that. Frosted Floof has a beacon mic. Yep, the beacon. Okay. Yeah, perfectly fine. A Rode Pod mic and a Elgato Wave XLR for Kurimuji.
Gonna sound good.
Yep, gonna sound great. The Shure SM7 DB. Yeah, a DB with a Volt too.
Arthur, have you heard of the Volt before this, or is this like your first time hearing about
it? This is my first time seeing so many
Volts.
Volts.
I love these. They're great. They look really clean too. Like they just have a really nice aesthetic design. Some of them have I think only the 76 versions have like a wood paneling on the side. Actually, they just are really nice looking. Just very aesthetic.
Is that a fucking vintage button? Does that like add a vintage coloration to the signal?
It does. Yeah, it I believe kind of tries to emulate the kind of idea of what it would be like to get like a Neve 1073 preamp kind of vibe going through them, because that's another thing that Universal Audio does a really great emulation of, is the 1073.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, those things are super great mics, or excuse me, great interfaces. With an SM7dB, yeah, gonna sound awesome through that. And they have a good amount of gain on them as well. I believe they have a 67.
Okay, so yeah, they didn't actually need the dB then, but I mean, yeah, if you want to spend money on it,
You're
you
gonna
can spend
sound
money
nice
on
and
it.
clear though.
Yeah.
Not gonna
Tenchi
need to lift yourself much.
Tenchi Morningstar with another Rode NT USB, which I feel like I really need to hear. I really need to hear this.
I gotta
fucking
hear
mic.
one of these.
Yeah.
I work with so many fucking one of these VTubers. One of y'all come to me. I just work with me to fucking let me hear it. I'll give you a 50% discount. I don't give a fuck. I want to see how these things sound.
So Easy
What is a
ICB has
Mixcreate?
a Mixcrate is the beacon mixer.
Listen, it just looks cool to me. I just want to twist the knobs. I don't care if it's quality.
You know, I had a
wanna
chance
twist
to
the
buy
knobs,
a
man.
Mixcrate and a beacon mic at a pawn shop, but they wanted like it was cheaper than buying them online, but I think they wanted like $250 for both.
I just have no idea what I would use one of these things
Yeah.
for. Like one of the even like the Go XLR and the Rodecaster and stuff. I don't know what the fuck I would use the faders for, because I just have everything automated to my Stream Deck. When I hit my BRB screen, it just mutes my mic. I don't need a fucking thing to do that for me, or a fader, you know?
Yeah, I don't need physical knobs for any of
Yeah.
it. Like I'm guessing
I've
maybe if you're
never
the kind of
understood
person
the
who
appeal of
tunes
these
things
things.
live, right? Then yeah, but I mean, as someone who leaves everything set the way it is, yeah, just not really useful to me personally.
That's what I'm talking about. The 76 versions, they got that like nice wood paneling. This guy, Asim Immortus, you're gonna sound amazing with that setup. You're gonna sound fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
especially
dude.
if you use the compressor.
Dude, that looks so
Love
good.
those things. That's what I was telling you about. They look nice too.
Yeah.
Like
It's very aesthetically pleasing setup. Yeah.
It's like the mid-range of interfaces. It's like the gold. I mean, Universal Audio's fucking amazing, you know. But yeah, if I had to get something instead of this Claret, I would get a Volt 276.
You get a Volt. Yeah.
That's the exact one I would get, because I just need the two inputs for
recording.
for
yeah.
dual like stereo miking or whatever, if I need to like record like an overhead or something.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yep.
Ooh, it's the original Arthur Classic right there. The Yamaha AG03. That's the mixer that I started on when I started streaming. You know where it ended up? It actually ended up in Ugly Son of a Bun's house. I ended up passing it on to him. A lot of my old audio equipment I just pass on to other friends.
I'm like looking this thing up right now just so I can like save a picture of it, because this is kind of some of the aesthetic I'm going with in my rebrand a little bit. It's very like space age looking.
It's really cool, and it you know what's cool? It has an echo button just directly on it. Like
That's nice. It just like looks like it belongs on a spaceship, and I love that about it. I don't care how it sounds. It's Yamaha, so it's probably okay.
Oh, it sounds great. Yeah. Also with the Yamaha YCM01, I've never used the Yamaha mic before, but yeah. But the mixer, I can say from experience with the mixer, it's a good mixer. It is a really solid mixer. I don't know what the GB of gain was like that it actually had. I think it was kind of low, honestly, because it drove, because I was using it originally with a dynamic microphone, and it did drive it a little quiet. So it might not be good for a good mixer for dynamics, but probably okay for condensers. Nice. Barry Softy told us they use the OS0700 USB microphone.
Who made the picture? Could you not find it?
None of my people could find a single evidence that this microphone exists anywhere. We don't know if this woman might have phased in from another dimension. We're not sure.
Oh my god. Okay, hold up. Oh, what the... This must have been a typo or something. Maybe it's the onstage AS700. In which case it would look like this, and it's only $30.
Oh, hold on. Let me see. Oh. Possibly this, yeah. But man, yeah. It only exists in Legends, the AliExpress special, yeah.
Q model though.
Yeah, Q model though. And Ori Suida, it uses the Rode NT1 5th gen, which is I believe the 5th gen is the one that has USB built in as well, where you can do XLR or USB to it. And then with the Focusrite Scarlett 4i4 4th gen. First one, that's the pop-up is the VTop USB microphones. Love that model. It's a good model, yeah. Look at that. Chicken. Okay, so Audica 7s uses an AKG D5 with a Focusrite Scarlet 2i2 and is using a Clark CM1 as a booster. Oh, a Clark CM1 as a booster for it. Yeah.
Probably an okay setup. Probably sounds fine.
Yeah, probably sounds perfectly okay. There we go. A Motu
the
N4.
Motu, let's go.
But Bryce Versal uses a Shure SM7B with a Motu M4. Motu M4s are fantastic. Very
So good.
heavy.
Amazing preamps.
Recommend from us. Pulmonia.
Dime.
Felunia uses a Blue Yeti. Yep.
Another gift sub.
A classic, Fruit Sniffer uses the classic fucking Audio-Technica 2020 shit mic with the Behringer Euphoria UMC 22. Yeah, the budget standard.
Endearingly, Fruit Sniffer, you look like your model looks like the long lost sixth member of Death Clock.
Depressed face. He is on the keyboard.
Like Nathan Explosion's brother.
Heyo Baby uses a Fifine AM8 and also a K669B.
What do you use them both for? What's the differentiation?
I don't know, maybe one goes up your ass.
To Arthur, can you be nice to these poor people?
No, I'm not being mean. I'm just trying to find a reason that you would have two USB mics, okay? Let's see. Ooh, okay, here we go. Cablook says a Shure SM7B with a Go XLR and a Triton Fathead.
Okay.
Yeah, good setup. Yeah. Tritons are solid. We got another Amazon special. Well, Wolf VT with a Manu AU A04 USB mic.
That's a classic. We use that in all the studios.
There's nothing I love more than that Chinesium arm that literally the springs on it will wear out within the first week and it'll immediately start drooping.
Fucking like bowing directly into your wall.
All right, Nanny-Roo has a Shure MV7, the USB variant. Nice, very good.
Looks like a picture of the newest version as well with the
touchscreen. Yeah. X-Rock has a Rode NT1A with a Focusrite Scarlet Solo 4th gen. Good combo.
Crazy how many NT1As there are though for just like streamers. You know?
I'm happy. I'm glad I'm seeing so many NT1s and NT1As.
Yeah.
Klarnark has an AKG C2000B, which I've never heard of that version of that specific AKG microphone, with a Wave XLR. Classic, very good. Force Gaia, who they couldn't find it. I think they found it. Their literal PC. They have a Behringer C1 with a Behringer UMC 22. Yeah, good
stuff. I like the C1. I have a bit of experience with that mic. It's very rounded. It's got like a good full body. There's just a tiny bit of sparkle to it. You'd honestly have to high shelf it a bit, but like it's a pretty good mic. I don't know anything about the interface, but like I like Behringer products, you know.
Yeah.
I think they do a good job. I don't.
One of my
I don't
recommendations is actually going to be a
a
Behringer product. Later,
I don't like condone Behringer's like activities as a company and all the gross shit Yuli Behringer has like said, but like I think they're a good company that does a good job, a needed job in a world where audio products are being sold at exorbitantly high prices.
Which is crazy because of all the competition in the market, right? Like so much competition, and yet companies still get away with like selling stuff at such high rates.
Yeah, I mean it's all name brand shit. It's you know they clone the Moog the Mini Moog synth. They clone that for like an eighth of the price, and it uses the exact schematics because they're public domain now because that synth is so old.
Yeah.
You know, and Moog still gets away with selling it for $5,000. Hi, Baka!
We already talked about your microphone. It sucks.
we are big AT 2020. No, I didn't say it sucks. For the record, Baka, I said that AT 2020s are a neutral mic that need work.
Yeah.
We also called you Australian, so
that's probably worse. Yeah. All right, Identity has a Shure SM58 with a Behringer Euphoria UMC 202 HD. That's pretty solid.
Sounds fine.
That looks like a higher end Behringer mixer too. That looks like not like the discount ones that we've seen so far.
Yeah, I have no idea how it actually sounds, but probably.
Not sure what the preamp noise is like. Yeah. Jackson Chinsky has another Blue Yeti.
Another dime in the jar.
Ralzit has a Elgato Wave 3.
Yep.
Another classic. Soul Culper has a blue Yeti. I believe Soul Culper. We weren't able to. I think your Twitter wasn't updated properly when we initially were going through. I think it got updated later. But I think he might have said that he wanted to upgrade to something else and do something like do a different mic at some point. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. Something wrong with Australians? Yes.
Hello? Hello?
No, I just have many Australian friends, so I make fun of them
I just
constantly.
have a lot of Australian. I don't make fun of them. I just think it's fun how they say hello.
No.
Hello. Dollabucks. I learned that on Bluey. They're from Australia too.
Sweens Gaming has the Audio Technica AT2020 USB.
This is the one we shit on. I would imagine.
Oh yeah, this is so bad.
Putting
it's
USB
so bad.
circuitry in an AT20 would probably take it from an okay mic to a shit mic.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Velka has a ProStar C414, which I believe that's a
I would
that's
imagine
a
that's
clone.
a clone of the what's it called? The AKG.
Yeah, the AKG 414. Yeah. It's probably a clone of the 414. It probably sounds pretty okay. And a Presonus, the first non-Arthur influenced Presonus Revelator IO24.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, if it works for your audio setup, it's a great fucking mixer for an amazing price. Let's see. I also use an RE320 too. Ooh, cool. Let's go. Ooh.
Love Electro Voice.
We love it. We love them. We love them here. Xano the Fox. You know, I found Electro Voice handheld condenser at a pawn shop for $20.
God damn.
Yeah, I gave it to a friend because they needed a mic upgrade. But I think I think it ended up. Did it end up? I can't remember if it ended up in Wise's setup or if it ended up in Floof's setup. Because I gave them one of them I gave an SM58 and the other I gave the handheld condenser. It was just whoever had the more sound treated room took the condenser.
If you ever find another RE20, let me know. I could absolutely use another.
Okay,
never go
yeah.
wrong.
I'll keep an eye out. And then the last setup is this one was submitted by Fido. He is on a Wave XLR and a Rode pod mic. Hold on, wait. Let me yell at him real quick.
Fido. Is he live? Oh yeah, he's live.
Yeah. I'm talking about your I'm talking about your mic and feet, fucker. Goes into friend's stream, threatens them, leaves, stays lurking. Our boy, our lovely boy, our lovely little boy. But yeah, good.
Here he comes.
Oh. Hi, Fito.
Fido.
Hi, Fito. Hi.
Drop a message in chat, Fido.
But yeah.
Motherfucker.
So initially, I do have to tell you what he did initially on this, though.
Mm-hmm.
I had to tell you what initially did on this. So he sent me a picture, and on the back screen right there, he had my butthole. He had my butthole, and my butthole and balls was being hidden by the Rode pod mic.
Who will play with his butthole and balls?
I told him, I was like, listen, I can't show that on stream.
Vito, you tried to get this motherfucker banned. Listen, there was one day in December you could have gotten away with it.
Yeah, there was that one day. There was that glorious, beautiful day of boobs and butts and wieners and big, fat, floppy wieners. And then people ruined it. Specific people ruined it when we.
I don't think anybody ruined it. I think Twitch just fucked up, and I don't know, man.
I think that it could have been if you had done that, if they had introduced it with pre-censoring, accounts under the age of 18 can access these streams. It
was Twitch's fault more than anything.
Yeah, it was a good idea. I still to this day think it is a good idea to allow nudity.
It's a good idea if Twitch bans kids.
Yeah, to allow nudity on like casual nudity, artistic nudity on Twitch, as long as you don't allow kids into the streams and you censor the thumbnails on the catalog and you don't recommend the streams to people. That's fine. There's literally nothing at all wrong with it, and you should actively do it because it will just allow more freedom to people to draw NSFW.
Yep.
As they
Pretty
should
much.
be allowed to. They should be allowed to drop dick and balls and butts.
Or allow Arthur to show Vito's picture of Arthur's butthole.
Yeah,
on
let me
screen.
show hole, huh? Twitch, let me show hole.
Stupid.
Very dumb, very silly, very goofy. I don't like it. Twitch needs to be a week or a day, but seriously, yeah, just ban the kids show ID. Yeah.
Kids aren't giving us money. Why do I want fucking kids around at all if they're not giving me money? Their parents' money. They're not giving. Twitch can't profit off of kids.
Arthur, wait,
Bam.
is Vito a femboy? Yes. He's a femboy, and
sure
also he
is.
lays eggs. He lays eggs. Make sure to go over to Vito's channel and ask him about how many eggs on average he lays a day.
Looking for one of the biggest perverts on Twitch. Follow Vito Bandito.
Ask him for his eggs and purchase his eggs from him. If he doesn't want to sell them to you, steal them from him actively.
Oh look, there he is. Get him, chat.
Get him. Get his ass. This motherfucker. Happy 2-year anniversary, Vito.
Happy anniversary, Vito. Hope you're enjoying that Kingdom Heart. Just so you know, Birth by Sleep's the best
his
one.
fans.
Just saying.
Thank you for the follow. Thank you. All right. Back to audio setups. Back to audio talking about other audio setups because it's time. It is now time for us to get into generalized advice. We did it. We got through all of the different setups. Every single setup in the throughout the entire the entire thing. So first of all, let's talk about audio do's and don'ts.
Before we get right into this, could we take 1 minute? I just want to run and grab refill my water.
That's fine. Yeah, I need to refill my water too. So,
Just hit
yeah, VOD watchers, skip 3 minutes. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we get back, we are going to be talking about the do's and don'ts of audio.
Hey kids, it's Ad Read Andy here. Cool.
All right, chat, we have returned, and it is time for the generalized advice, the do's and don'ts of audio, of microphones. So, do buy a microphone from a reputable brand. Don't buy gamer garbage.
Gamer startup slop.
Yeah, do not buy gamer startup slop. Do not buy Steel Series. Do not buy Blue.
HyperX.
Do not buy HyperX. Do not buy Razer.
The only gamer brand you should buy a microphone from is Elgato.
Yeah, yep. Elgato is the only gamer brand that actually produces good products in the audio space. If you just point out you never said anything about his mic setup, oh, it's good. It's good. It's a pretty standard setup that we've talked about several times before in the stream. But yeah, the Rode Pod mic plus the Elgato Wave XL is a very solid interface setup because the Wave can match the gain necessary for the Pod mic, and it sounds.
We saw that set up like several times too. It's just a very common, solid, good setup. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, even chair shops, really serious ones, hate gamer chairs. Salespeople will lightly push you, but if you're acknowledging, they will agree. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Dog, I bought a gamer chair. I fucking hate this thing.
My God.
If I could buy a, oh my God, Arthur, if you ever see a fucking, what's that company? It's like two names. The chair company that makes the good chairs. Oh, the good office chairs. Good office chairs. What the hell's the brand? Oh God, chat, help me. What's the Herman Miller? If you ever see a Herman Miller at the fucking pawn shop, just
buy Herman Millers always buy Herman Millers. Herman Millers are fantastic.
Please.
Yeah, like,
or Steelcase. Yeah,
I don't know what brand my chair is.
My fucking
I have
DX Racer.
I have an office chair. Like I have how I did my chairs right was I went to the Office Max and I just sat in every chair. And I found the chair that was most comfortable, and then I just looked on Amazon, looked online, found out if it was cheaper on there. And then it turned out it was actually cheapest in store. Like, it was the best price that I could find on that chair because they had, like, a discount because they were desperate because Office Max is dying because no one goes there. And so I got this chair. I think it was like $200. And it feels amazing. Yeah, it feels fantastic.
Yeah. I hear there's like a few decent ones at Staples. I need to upgrade eventually. I'm poor and lazy and ugh. But yeah, I fucking hate my DX Racer, dog. I bought it during the pandemic and
make sure to commission Tomo so she can afford a new chair.
Yeah, new headphones too. The fucking Steel Series I'm wearing right now. I had to super glue one of the cuffs back onto it. Man.
You need some MDR 7506s. You need some good shit.
I'm getting. So for mixing, my community's already funding them. I throw in the Sennheiser HD 650s. Just like perfect flat for mixing, but just for like casual music listening and like gaming and stuff, I'm gonna get the Biodynamic DC 770.
Yeah, those are good ones. Yeah.
Because I need something closed back as well, you know. Because if I fucking am on Discord on an open back pair of headphones, everybody's gonna fucking hear me.
Yeah.
Or hear themselves back through into the microphone, you know.
Exactly. Well, that's one of the big problems about it, I think.
Yeah. But anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
Commission me.
Yeah.
Except maybe give it a month. My queue is full as fuck right now, and I'm too afraid to close it in case the big one comes in eventually. You know what I mean? I'm always afraid to close because I'm always afraid it's gonna be the exact time I close is when HoloLive finds me or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. But so some more do's and don'ts. Don't buy cheap gamer garbage. Purchase from reputable brands. Do buy used. Try to go to pawn shops. Go online and search through eBay, check reverb.com, find deals. Like, wait and be patient. That's the big thing is don't just jump on stuff. Be patient with hunting down deals on microphones. Don't just pay outright retail for stuff because unless you have a timetable, like you need it immediately, just be patient because you will find a deal because this stuff is everywhere. Like, even though Lewitt is a relatively, like, the Lewitt LCT 4040 Pures have only been sold for, like, the last 3-4 years, right? You can still find them for, like, you can buy them for brand new for $250. You can find them used for $200, $260. Yeah, they're around.
Did anybody submit an Xbox Live headset as a joke, by the way, that you just didn't put in?
Yes. I didn't put in any jokes.
There had to have been at least a few.
Yeah, I skipped every joke post.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of humor either.
Yeah, I don't like it when things are funny. I actually just want everything to be serious all the time.
Oh my god! Thank you for the sub.
He
to
hates
me. Thank you
his
so much.
fans. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow up, and thank you for the sub, Crypt to Tomo. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I can use fun Arthur emotes.
What are some do's and don'ts that you can think of off the top of your head?
So for me, I'm not giving away any secrets, right? I have to fucking run a business here. But to be honest, even if I did give away my entire process, it still takes a trained ear to know how to use an EQ because every mic, every voice, every setup is different, right?
Yeah.
Every room. But generally speaking, the one definitive rule of EQing, and this anyone can do this, I would suggest using this filter called TDR Nova because it's less intimidating looking than the Reaper EQ for OBS that everyone always uses. Use something called a high pass filter, brick wallet at 100 hertz. Basically, that is like the #1 gold standard of how to mix the human voice is just cut everything below 100 hertz. You don't need it. And what it's also going to do is it's going to make it so that if you bump your desk, kick your wall, if a loud garbage truck goes by outside, all those low rumbling sounds aren't going to come through. You know? So that's a big do. Big don't is over compress. Oh my fucking god, the amount of streamers I hear that just have so much fucking compress.
Oh god, yeah, they sound like they're talking to you through an electrical wire. Yeah.
I fixed someone's audio a couple months ago, not even a couple months ago, maybe 2-3 weeks ago. I fixed someone's audio who had, I think, a ratio of like 25. I didn't even fucking know OBS would even, any compressor would let you go that high of a ratio. If you're compressing your voice, don't give it a higher ratio than 4. 4 is generally the golden, rectangle of vocal compression. 2 you can get away with. But yeah, don't go higher than 4, honestly, unless you're like mixing like other stuff. But yeah, those are the 2 big do's and don'ts that like I don't think you would be able to come up with off the top of your noggin, since I kind of am the
you're the
mixer.
You're the mixer and I'm the like physical hardware. Like I know a lot more about physical hardware and deals.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's why I figured I'd lend that little bit of expertise to make sure we don't double up on the same things.
Yeah, do buy try to go for a dynamic microphone if you have a very noisy environment and you want to try to cut out background noise, and don't buy a very expensive condenser if you can't handle it with your environment. Like environment matters so much to the microphone you buy, and if you can't modify your room or have a recording space that is well treated, then don't buy some $400 extremely sensitive condenser. You're wasting your money. You're wasting your money, and you're gonna sound like shit, and you're gonna feel really bad because you spent $400. But you should buy, if you want to do that, buy a $200 really nice condenser, and then buy $200 in sound treatment materials.
Yeah, Baka, if your recording space is echoey, definitely switch from that AT2020 and get just like the Rode Pod mic is like super cheap. Or what is it called? The Pod mic, Rode Pod mic USB. It's like what, like 150?
Yeah.
Like,
well, she has something good
dynamic.
She has an Audio Technica, so she can. Yeah, what she should do is just get a good dynamic. I mean, there's plenty at the hard-offs all around her. She moved to Japan, so she's got.
Because that's the thing is if you have an echoey space, right, and a condenser microphone, honest to God, the solution to that is not treating your space. It's just getting a fucking dynamic microphone instead of spending all that money on either proper paneling or even on just like buying a bunch of extra crap. You really buy the extra crap if you're like almost there already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do I have perfect pitch? No, I have trained pitch, though. I wish I had perfect pitch. That'd be awesome. I have trained pitch where I can kind of reference point certain things in like a fucking Cam Jansen kind of way. But no, I don't have perfect pitch.
Wait, let's see. When I worked in transcription, I had no instructions, but everyone got a feeling to cut below 100 to 200 hertz and above 4K hertz on phone or 16K ish for hertz for HQ audio. Also, I worked in an extremely cheap call center. 2 things they didn't cheap on them were mics and sound dampening insulation. Want to stream? Buy foam. Yeah,
Yep.
Foam's not the best. The best way to deal with audio in a room is sound dampening panels. sound insulating panels, like acoustic panels. But acoustic panels are actually very expensive. So 2-inch foam can fit and do most of what you need for a decent streaming area. You know, for more than that, like if you're doing like professional recordings, maybe you need an even more insulated like booth situation. But a decent amount of 2-inch foam, I think, aligning your walls, and maybe some audio paneling on your ceiling can be enough to get the job done. Like, cause like someone asked me earlier, Arthur, is your space treated? My space is absurdly treated.
Super treated. I've seen pics.
I can't show you guys detailed pictures of my room for OPSEC reasons, but brother, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 audio panels directly above my head, octagonal audio panels. The entire back wall that I'm speaking into is all covered literally inch to inch with 2-inch like pyramid foam. Every corner of my room has a bass trap in it. The entire wall, like the wall with the window has like 2-inch foam, triangle foam, all paneling all along, up and down around the window. The back wall behind me has my video game shelves that have all my video games all stacked in various different ways to also help with the padding. The left wall has so much audio paneling, and even I put audio paneling on the fucking closet door. And then I put it all the way any space in the back behind me, but where the shelving is, I even layered it on the door. So everything, my room has absurd levels of audio treatment, and I put a big rug in here too. So I have crazy levels of audio treatment in here, and that's why you never hear background noise or echo in any of my signals.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Explains why ours has no room echo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what would you say is the biggest mistake that people make in when buying equipment?
The biggest mistake. You go first. Give me a sec to think on this one.
I think
there's a lot.
The biggest mistake that people make when getting into audio and getting into equipment is Googling and listening to people who don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, it is listening to people who have no idea what the fuck they're talking about, who tell you, and also not being willing to listen to professionals is a big mistake, I think. Of like, because I've seen people like, okay, yeah, but you saw a few of the arguments on Twitter of people being very, well, I've had this device for a long time, and therefore
there was someone replying to me about some shit like that.
Yeah, like, well, I saw several arguments like that underneath the tweet, and it's just like, brother, listen, if you think that your shittium headphones, or mic sounded good, you just don't know what good audio sounds like.
Big mistake is trusting someone who calls themselves an audio engineer. Trusting someone who went to school for audio instead of actually working in audio. That's like that, and like cheaping out on microphones, I guess I would say are the big mistakes I would say that have. Like that's why we saw so many of those kind of like Walmart brand microphones on this thing. I think those probably aren't going to sound super great. I think cheaping out on audio is a big mistake, but also getting in over your head
is also a big mistake. You don't
really know what you're doing either.
Yeah.
Is also a big mistake.
Yeah.
You know, just get something that's trusted. You know, if you look up trusted audio brands right now, I am positive Shure is going to come up. Okay, cool. Shure MV7. Let me get on that. You know, Rode is probably going to come up. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, avoid things that are targeting the most companies that are targeting gamers, and specifically stick to companies that are more audio focused, you know. And yeah, just to try to find people who find people who genuinely sound like crisp and good, and then talk to them about their audio setups and see if they know what they're talking about.
Also, make sure if in terms of like trusting people who say they are professionals or whatever, go listen to their portfolio. See if they're actually backing up the talk, because a lot of motherfuckers, especially on Twitter, are all bark and no bite.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not here to throw shade at anybody in this game. Everybody is doing a good enough job. They're making a living. They're making their money. Everybody's got to make their money, you know? But I will say there are a lot of people who call themselves vocal mixers or audio engineers, especially in the VTuber scene, who have no fucking idea what they're doing, dude. They have no fucking idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
And you look at their portfolio, and it fucking shows, even to the untrained ear, it shows that this is an amateur production and not something that sounds professional. You know? The best producers can make shitty microphones sound tolerable, passable even, you know?
Bunzel makes a very good point. Around 250 audio budget will do what most people need.
Yes.
Yep, 100%.
Exactly.
$250 will buy you
That's the range.
a good mic, a good interface, a good XLR. Oh, that's another thing we didn't really mention. Get it. Don't buy Chinesium Amazon Basics XLR cables. Buy
But also
a
don't
reasonable,
buy
reputable
overpriced.
brand. Yeah, buy a reasonable, reputable brand between like $15
You
to
don't need a
$20
monster
for a cable. Yeah, don't buy. You don't need something like I use Mogami cables in all my stuff, but
They're
it's because
indestructible.
yeah, I've gotten they have lifetime warranties, so that's
Yes,
why
exactly.
I get them. I get them like they are very reliable and they have lifetime warranties. It's not because they make the audio signals sound better. They don't. They're just
reliable.
It sounds exactly the same as a $15 to $20 audio cable. It's just like I just feel more peace of mind using them. But you don't need these. If you can get a cheaper cable and it will sound the exact same. Yeah.
You just will have to replace it in a couple years. Whereas again, the more expensive, honestly, a little overpriced. I mean, I've bought Monsters and Mogamis as well. I like them.
Yeah.
They still work, but they were a lot of money, and maybe I didn't need to spend that money. Meanwhile, I've cheeked out on cables before. Like 2 years ago, I was just really broke and bought like some shitty like fucking off-brand cables on like Musician's Friend or whatever for my synth. I already had to replace them, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, don't do that. Don't buy something low end. Buy something in the decent mid range of like fit. Yeah, like I suggest pig hog cables to a lot of people. I've found that the pig hog cables are very good, like very solid, durable, and like rarely have any kind of issues with them.
And then like 250, 300 range is exactly what you need to either get a solid USB mic. Again, I only recommend 3 of them, or a solid beginner interface and like an SM58. You know?
Yes. Yeah. Yep. And there's a lot of options at that price range too. A lot of options. But okay, recommendations. It's time for our recommendations chat. So you've heard a lot of this. Over the course of the stream already, but we will go hard in the recommendations now. The one USB microphone I personally recommend. Tomo recommends a couple more because she's a little more knowledgeable on USB microphones. But the one that I recommend more than anything is the Wave 3. The Wave 3 is fantastic. You can get it for the maximum of 150 retail, but you generally can get it for on when it goes on sale for about 110 to 115, used for between 60 to 90, and it sounds great. Was worked on with Lewitt, directly in conjunction with Lewitt, and is mostly everything you would want out of a condenser microphone for streaming. Yeah. Then for when we're starting to get into condensers, one of my top picks in condensers ever is the Lewitt LCT 440 Pure. This is the microphone that I personally use. It is absolutely fantastic. You can get it for between $250 brand new to down to $200, maybe even lower on eBay if you get a really good deal. It comes with a shock mount, a metal pop filter, a foam windscreen, and a baggie for it, as well as a pretty good carrying case box, like a good solid box that it comes with too. It has a maximum noise floor of 6 dB, which is fucking crazy. And it's a very bright and poppy microphone that sounds extremely accurate to your voice. Yeah, great microphone. Another recommendation, at least right now, I don't know if this will be a recommendation long term because I don't know where the direction of this microphone is going to go because of what I'm going to show you. But the King B2 is a big bitch. It is a big bitch. This is a very good vocal microphone. It is very heavy, very large. It's about 3 pounds. It comes with a built-in pop filter and shock mount. It's very heavily like recommended by a lot of vocal professionals and people and reviewers. And this is the big reason that I recommend this right now. This bitch is $80 on Amazon from America.
Sheesh.
Yeah, this came out for one. It was already punching way above its weight class at $170 retail when this first came out. At $80 fucking dollars? That is crazy. I got one in the mail, chat. I bought one of these for $80. It came in the mail. It was imported from the UK for some reason, and I tested it. Works fucking fine. Works great. Mint condition, brand new. Yeah, this is a very, 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 very good deal for a vocal microphone right now. Another recommendation of mine, the CAD E100SX. So this is
solid.
It's the newest variant of CAD microphones series, the Equitech 100, which has been around for about like 35 years or so. I will say it is not as good as some of the previous microphones. Not as good as the E2 or the especially the ES. The E100S is heavily regarded in voice acting communities for its quality. Another problem with this that you probably want to do is get the CAD pop filter for about $10 to go over it, because it is a plosive monster. The grill is not very good at rejecting plosives. But if you use proper mic technique,
the capsule in it.
Yeah, if you use proper mic technique and you use the windscreen, you're gonna have absolutely no problems with it. And the thing is, so here's the big reasons that I advise on this microphone. It is very good. It is very, very good. It has a solid 10 dB pad and a low cut filter, a high pass filter built directly into it. When you engage the high pass filter, it sounds very close to the E100S. And here's the thing: this mic is only $85. I got it for $63 when it was on sale randomly on Amazon. And do you know what the retail cost of this microphone was when it came out? $300.
Damn.
$300. The original, it was $200 less than the original E100S, which was a $500 microphone. This punches way above its weight class for cost. Like,
yeah.
Despite the plosive issue, which can be easily fixed, and sounding a little worse than the E100S, this is still a crazy quality microphone for the cost. Very
good deal.
Yeah, we love good deals. We love good deals. It's an absolute steal for the cost. And if you can even get it cheaper than that, then it is fantastic. Also, it's got just a really unique look. Like, it's got this really cool ice cream cone look.
Yeah, it looks like the AKGs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool.
Those kind of square form mics.
If you can't afford that though, and you want something even cheaper, we also have the Equitech E40 medium diaphragm super cardioid condenser, which is it's got a different sound profile, but for $50 out the door, and it includes a built-in shock mount with it. Like, that's a deal. That's a good deal. It's a really solid deal. Like both microphones are really fantastic. And then, of course, another big recommend that we've been shouting out the entire stream is the Rode NT1 Signature Series. The Rode NT1, it comes with a shock mount, comes with a pop filter. That's the thing, is all the microphones that I have been recommending you come with built-in custom shock mounts and pop filters, so you don't even have to buy anything else. It's all there right out of the box. You just need an arm and an interface and an XLR cable for it. But yeah, very good brand, fantastic microphone. Now we go into Tomo's recommendations for microphones.
So these are kind of all over the place. Some of these are a little more premium. This one in particular is an exact clone of the Neumann U47. Warm Audio makes a lot of clones of old expired patent classic gear, just so much.
Oh, so it's literally the same microphone, basically?
It is the same microphone. It is the same inner workings. Because again, something as old as that, those blueprints, the patents just have to expire eventually by law.
Yeah.
And they have, because it's an old as fuck microphone. This thing is trust me, dog, a little premium is a little premium. The original U47 goes for upwards of like $12,000. So for for that. But this is more of my recommendation for like voice actors, singers, stuff like that, not for streaming. I'm just, music is where my specialty lies. Streamer audio is kind of fucking whatever for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
As far as like a solid, if you want to hear this thing in action as well, the song I did with Dee the Sphinx, great Vtuber, love her. She's great. She's blowing up right now. She deserves it. song I did with her called A Goddess. She used this on that song, and it sounds fucking angelic. She's also got one of the best voices I've ever heard, and it sounds amazing going through this thing. It's like the perfect match for her voice. But yeah, the U47 is probably, again, if you ask people what the best vocal microphone of all time is, 100 producers, a third of them will probably say this, and then another third will say the 67, and another third will say the 87. You know, it's just kind of iconic. Well,
Yeah.
maybe the Sony C.
Like, so for example of why like this warm audio microphone is such a good deal, chat. So googling the U87 right now, chat. Do you want to know what you could buy
what
a
are they
U87 for? $4,000.
Christ.
$4,000,
Yeah.
and I see a U87 dual pattern tube microphone vintage for $23,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a good mic.
Fucking steal.
It's a good
Warm audio
deal
is
when
great.
you consider like what it is competing against in the market. Yeah. Yeah, the Rode K2 large diaphragm as well.
Little more. Oh yeah, sorry. Finish.
No, go ahead.
reading off.
Okay, this is
Rode-
yours. Yeah.
The Rode K2 large diaphragm tube condenser, very similar in profile to the U47, and very similar in sound to the Neumann microphones as well. This one's a little bit cheaper. Again, if you're looking for a real tube microphone as a singer, as a voice actor, as a music producer, this one's excellent. This thing, if anybody in chat likes Tame Impala, this thing is all over Lonerism. It is all over Currents. It's all over the Slow Rush. It's all over the new Justice album, the new Dua Lipa album. He's used this as overheads on drums, for vocals. This thing does so much.
Yeah.
And it's tube powered as well. So meaning when a microphone is tube powered, it actually comes with a separate fucking box that you have to turn on just to power the microphone on, because it uses a real vacuum tube inside of it, meaning they are fragile.
Yeah.
And basically, when you're not using this microphone, you want to put it back away in its nice box case. You know, its nice wooden case with padding and such. But yeah, this is another really great one. Super, super warm, super crystal clear, crisp, up front, in-your-face sound, and captures a lot of great room transients as well. Again, I've used these for drum room miking and overheads as well.
Yeah.
Great mic.
Yeah. Exactly. Wait, so question: do more streamers who aren't singers or like top professionals really need more than something mediocre, even passable low end? No. So I would say they don't need. I mean, yeah, you can get by on something mediocre as a streamer, but I mean, I would go for just something good as a streamer. You don't need something amazing like this.
Just like the $250 budget.
Yeah, we're talking about general use microphones for a very specific class of like V-singer and voice actor plus streamer. For these specific microphones, we've already gone over like dozens of microphones for streamers so far in various different price classes that fit and make sense for a lot of people. I don't know if you answered because my internet cut off for a moment. You said that you shouldn't listen to people who don't know what they're talking about. But then, as someone who has no idea about the good studio audio themselves, how do you know if the person you're Googling has any idea what they're talking about? That's what you shouldn't Google those people. That's the thing. It's like you should try to track down individuals to ask advice from directly. Instead of Googling general questions on audio online can also often just lead you down SEO'd rabbit holes of buy a Yeti, buy a HyperX. I've seen it so many times when I've tried to Google things like voice acting mic or streamer mic or singer mic.
I think they're talking about what I was saying earlier about kind of saying that some people kind of don't know what the fuck they're talking about. A red flag giveaway for me is when someone calls themselves an audio engineer. I don't think any respectable person in audio really calls themselves that unless they're trying to get sponsorships for a fucking investment or something like that.
Yeah.
Most people will just call themselves a music producer, or even some of the people I know who are the best at what they do just call themselves a fucking hobbyist.
Yeah.
I mean, I call myself just a music producer. Generally speaking, someone who actually calls themselves an audio engineer probably hasn't worked on a lot of audio, whereas a music producer is calling themselves a music producer because they produce music. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's a red flag kind of giveaway thing, I think.
Marco used the Blue Yeti and things turned out great for him. Yeah, and he upgraded.
Also, he pulled up on a Blue Yeti when they were still decent.
Yeah. Also, it was early Blue Yetis when they were fine. They were totally reasonable. Yeah. A mini K67X condenser microphone from
and then
Roswell.
another much cheaper alternative as well to the other two that I was shown as well. This is like the lowest end of amazing condensers that I would recommend. I wouldn't recommend anything cheaper than this. That's a condenser. I just really don't like or trust the quality of a condenser lower than this price point. I fucking love this thing. I use this for vocals all the time. It is based on the Neumann U67, but it is not the actual same architecture. If anything, to me, this sounds more like a 47, which to me has always been, of the three, my favorite. I love the sound of U47. I just think it's more dynamic and it can just do so much. They're all great. They all have their own qualities. But yeah, this thing's amazing. I love it. It sounds great. You don't have to use like a big box to power it up because there's no tube in it, but it sounds right. It just captures that warm.
It captures kind of like that tube sound without having a tube in a way.
Yep. It's just so great. It's powerful. And it's affordable, you know?
Yeah.
For a condenser microphone, again, condenser microphones below this point are cheap, and the manufacturers know that they're cheap. And slop, honestly.
Yeah, some of them are okay, but like very rarely.
Some are okay, but like when you get above that like $450 price range, this thing pays itself forward. There are mics that are over $1,00000 that don't sound as good as this thing. It's fucking awesome. I love this thing.
The thing you need to remember as a streamer though, like we got to talk about like use case specifically. Like if you are looking to be a V singer and a voice actor, this is the kind of price range you should be looking at. But if you are simply looking to stream only primarily, you shouldn't be looking into stuff like this, or the Neumann TLM 103, or the AKG C14 XL2.
That's what I should have specified with the condenser mics. Is I don't even recommend all three of those suggestions I gave for condensers. I don't recommend condensers at all for streamers unless it's the Elgato USB, wave mic. Other than that, I don't even recommend condensers for a streamer because generally speaking, your room probably isn't treated enough for it, and it is a much wiser investment to just buy a dynamic microphone instead of a condenser and paneling for your room. Yeah,
exactly. If you're just primary streamer, absolutely. Or something like a U87 AI, like it's
Great
going
mic, though.
all the way up to the top. Oh yeah, it is good. It's a good boy. It's a good boy, but
good shit.
All right, so now it's time to get into the dynamic recommendations chat. So starting off, a recommendation from both Tomo and I, the Shure SM58 Cardio Dynamic Vocal Microphone.
So good.
The classic dynamic microphone, indestructible, excellent tone, sounds good on basically every voice. Little teeny bit of darkness, but mostly like pretty clear and stable. And
it's
like
just
can be
magic.
driven. Yeah, it can be driven by basically any audio interface.
It's just magic. I don't know how this microphone does what it does. I don't know how they did this shit in the 1950s. This microphone is fucking 75 years old, basically, and it's still the golden standard. Go to your local music venue. They have 20 of these in the storage closet. You know,
from the last perfect.
Go to your
50
local elementary
years.
School. They have them for the fucking cafeteria. Like. It's a perfect microphone.
Yeah. And a very similar microphone to it, almost not exactly the same microphone, but very similar, is also the Shure SM57, which is the another fantastic. We've gushed about this microphone, extremely all-purpose, like so good that the president talks through this mic. Like all presidential addresses are given through this fucking microphone. Like they're used all over all Shure microphones are used all over the place in like professional government work. The great microphone. And I personally think that you can add the pop filter to it just in case if you get one of these. But if you have good mic technique, you don't even need it. No, this is a big recommend right now for people. If you are looking for
is this their clone?
It's a clone, but it is the Behringer XM 8500 is one of the best deals in audio. Period. It is normally about $25 to $30. It is it's on back order until December now because so many people fucking bought this deal, but it is $14 with free shipping right now on Sweetwater. That
I'm
price.
gonna tell Baka about this as well, especially if she's on a budget.
Oh, I don't think it'll ship to Japan for free shipping, unfortunately.
Yeah, but she could probably find one at like a music store though.
Oh, true. Yeah, true. But yeah, it's not the cleanest microphone. It has a little bit of it's good for spoken word, not great for recording a lot of other things. But like it can be, it's okay on acoustics, but a little muddy on other things. But I mean, for $14. This is an insane deal. I bought one of these just because I wanted to have a backup, just in case. It sounds fine. It sounds fine. It sounds like the quality of like a $60 to $80 dynamic for fucking like the cost of a Happy Meal.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Christ, Happy Meals cost $13 now.
Oh yeah.
This fucking economy, I don't go to McDonald's.
But yeah, I'll link it to everybody. If you want to get one of these, you won't be able. I mean, you'll pre-order it and you won't get it till like December. But like, I mean, listen, I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it to just have, even if you're not planning on actively using it, as a backup, just in case you need an extra microphone. Because you're not gonna find a better price for a quality microphone ever. Like, just period. Like, you just won't. Everything else in this same price range of $14 is gonna sound like dog ass. And then another recommendation for me for Dynamics is the SE Electronics Supercardioid Dynamic Handheld. This is the one that I started out with originally, and it sounds fucking great. Sounds really smooth. Very good microphone. The SM7B is a streamer classic. This is a recommend with a caveat of do not ever buy this new. Ever in a million years, never buy a brand new SM7B. You're getting overcharged. Buy them used, buy them secondhand on eBay or at a pawn shop try to get it for around $200. Don't pay more than like $230, and try to get it sub $200. Look up some videos on how to open up the back of it to double check the wiring to make sure it's accurate and it's the real microphone, and just check all the different details to make sure it's not counterfeit, because this is the thing about Shure microphones is they're heavily counterfeited.
Counterfeited.
The SM57, the SM58, and the SM7B are heavily counterfeited. They've even started counterfeiting the SMDB already. And it's only been out for like half a year. So, like, you just need to be able to make sure to tell if it's counterfeit or not, which is not hard, and don't be afraid, because return policies on online shopping is extremely good, so you're gonna get your money back if you get a fake. But if you end up in a deal like I did, where I got a SM7B for $165 shipped, and it was authentic, you're gonna feel real good about that. Just check Happy Meals, and McDonald's are near me are $4.69. Okay, well, adult Happy Meal then. I mean, yeah, honestly, XM58 being $14 is tempting me to buy a proper interface to Stepping Stone with, and I don't need it. Bought mine from the Shure store on Amazon, so I think I should be good. Oh yeah. If you buy it directly from a known distributor, brand new, something like I'm talking about used products. I'm talking about buying used specifically, like.
At the pawn on eBay, on Amazon, used or whatever.
Yeah. If you're buying brand new from somewhere like Sweetwater or like Amazon, you're pretty safe. But otherwise, if you're buying used, you just need to be able to tell fakes on Shure microphones. Same with Neumann. Neumann and Shure microphones are both heavily counterfeited.
I believe on Reverb as well, they have a policy where if something is seen to be counterfeited, they will crack down on the sellers.
Yeah.
So that's the thing with Reverb as well. Reverb is an excellent website to buy used gear.
Yeah. Reverb's a great. Yeah. Prices are usually a little higher on Reverb because you're guaranteed authentic. And it's specifically built for music, like aficionados. But you are gonna guaranteed get an authentic product that was gonna work through Reverb. So, Rode PodMic USB dynamic broadcast microphone. This is your recommendation.
Love this thing. It's great. This is if you buy a USB mic, this is the one to buy. Honestly, it just, the software's great. It sounds solid out the box. It's super durable. Not like Shure durable, but you know, I mean, this thing could easily handle a fucking move with a dumb moving company or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's not gonna just shatter $1 million. Mil pieces.
Yeah, it can handle a fucking 10-foot drop at the UPS store. You know what I mean? So yeah, good mic. Good mic. That's really, we talked about it all stream.
Solid microphone. Now, a little into the little higher end of microphones. The Electrovoice RE20 is one of the greatest microphones ever made. Period. Like, end of story. It is incredible.
This is the peak of prices for dynamic. If you see a dynamic higher than $450 brand new, do not fucking buy it because it's not going to be better than this.
Nope.
Also, they make this in black and it looks a lot nicer. I know this kind of looks a little bit ugly. The black one's very clean looking.
Yeah,
I
like this shade personally,
I do
but
too.
like
Listen, I mean-
I get people wanting like it in blackout though. But yeah,
I mean, again, too, if you watch the Radiohead, like, in the Basement series, that's the microphone that Tom York and all them are using to sing into on that. It's super,
it's been used in radio and television for decades. This was first created in 1968, and they are still microphones from back then. They're still going fucking strong. Like it is.
Anthony Fantano uses these as well. He has a really, really powerful voice as well, you know, and it just sounds great through them.
Yeah. Once again, try to go for used because you can get a deal. You know, you can get them for like these for like around $300 with the clip, and maybe a little more if you want to get a shock mount, up to like $400 with shock mount. Better than buying. You can buy these like brand new with shock mount for like $500 or $550. But yeah, I always advise when it's a microphone that's been around for a very long time and you're not going to be able to find a lot of used copies, to just go with used because it's going to be fine and it's going to work fine and you're going to save money on it.
Yep.
But another one of your recommendations.
Oh, I love this one. So this is the Shure Beta 57A. This is a slight variant of the regular SM57. You'll notice it has the mesh grill, however. You can also buy a sort of windscreen that can twist on. You know, you take the metal grill off of this one and you just twist the windscreen on if you really care about the plosives and stuff. But like, honestly, I record so many vocals with this. Granted, I do have decent like plosive control since I am sort of a singer. I mean, I'm not great, but I use this thing for final vocals all over my new album that will be coming out soon. It's just great. It sounds amazing. And you can use this thing for everything as well. Like I will record guitar cabinets with this. I would use this on a snare drum. I would fucking use this on a kick drum in the absence of a Beta 52. This thing's just great. It does it all. It's like the SM57 with like a little more color to it. That's a little more expensive. But it sounds amazing. I don't know. I don't know what it is I'm obsessed with about this mic. It just has a really nice color to it, and I literally have not even opened my SM7B in like over a year or two, because like every time I just need to record a vocal, even thinking it's going to be a demo that I'm recording, I'll just use this thing, and it ends up being the final vocal because it sounds so fucking good.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Now
I adore it.
Now on to interfaces now. So we talked about dynamics, we talked about condensers, chat. Because we're not going to talk about things like carbon or ribbon or anything like that, because or tubes. Like now that's really relevant, I think, for the in the context of streaming. But now for audio interfaces, a great, solid, average, middle of the road option. We've seen it a million times. The Focusrite Scarlett Solo Gen 4. Is a great direction to go in, or a Gen 3 if you want to try to get a discount by getting one used. You can still find some Solo Gen 4s used around already, but like you're gonna find a lot of Gen 3s used. So, and if you need two XLR ports, go with a 2i2 as well. But they're very good options, and they are reliable. And many people know how to work them, and like they've been consistently improved through the generations up to the 4th gen, and it's probably one of the most consistent and reliable audio interfaces for streamers right now. Then the Motu M2 is a great option. It's a little pricier than the Focusrite, but the preamps are gorgeous. It has really good tactile like knobs on it. These things are fucking fantastic. I've only ever run into one of these things in the wild, and it went to Nagi. But my time using it, everything I put into this thing sounded gorgeous.
They're great. Guitars sound super crisp through them. Just like super. Just if you want to just like plug a guitar into your computer and use like an amp emulator or whatever, it sounds just like so clean going into them. Like there's no extra distortion, no extra like noise or color. It's just crystal clear.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, this is This is the interface, like the one of the best price to performance interfaces. It's around $200. You can maybe get it for $250 used, maybe even lower. And it punches way above its weight class for
buy
the
one of
quality.
these over the Scarlet if they're side by side. Honestly,
Yeah, if you're side by side, same price, yeah. Like if you can afford it, yeah, I would go with this over it. Yeah. Now, another great one for streamers, the Elgato XLR, Wave XLR, gives you 75 dB of gain, is extremely sleek,
Damn.
fits on desks really well. Simplified controls on the actual device, but has gives you full access to the Wave software, which is great in software mixing tools. And you can find them at discounted prices all over the place. So, good option. Very good option. And then, as a tentative recommend, the PreSonus IO44, Revelator IO44 and 24, depending on how many XLR ports you need. Very compact devices, especially the 44, has some good internal DSP, some good software. It's what I personally use, clean preamps. It's just sometimes there can be issues with it. There have been issues that have been found with the shielding, depending on like some electronics you can have around it, and sometimes it's not compatible with certain setups. So you just got to make sure that whatever your setup is, that you actually know what you're like, that it's gonna work. You know that it's gonna work for you. Be willing to return it, and also go for it at a good price, because they are like, I think they're $80 now, and you can potentially get them even cheaper in some cases. I've seen these going for as low as $50 brand new. So it's pretty good.
Damn.
Pretty good. So now into Tomo's audio recommendations.
I actually thought the M2 was on mine.
Oh. It is.
funny.
Oh yeah, the M2
Anyways.
is on yours. What do you want to say about the M2 though? Did you?
No, I already said everything I said about the M2. Yeah,
Okay.
no, I guess we combined them. That's
yeah,
cool.
it was a
no,
dual recommendation. Yeah.
for sure. So this thing's brand new. I can't 100% attest to the quality beyond just what I have heard people raving about and what the actual company Heritage Audio has said about this thing. But this is the Heritage Audio i73. This basically is the first ever interface that has integrated the most desired, respected preamp of all time, called the Neve 1073, or the Neve, some people say, I guess. The Neve 1073. Basically, this preamp is the golden standard of preamps. What I mean by that is it's used everywhere. Any recording studio, when they record anything, doesn't matter what, vocals, anything that uses a microphone or goes directly in, they will be going through the 1073 before it even touches the actual interface itself. The only difference is this doesn't have the actual EQ knobs that the 1073 would, but it still has that like colorful characteristic, I assume. And basically what's super special about this is, whereas a regular interface, when you turn that gain knob up, it's going to sound like shit if it starts to clip into the red. The special thing about the 1073 and like a real analog preamp is that once it starts to actually get into the red and you have too much gain, it's not going to sound like shitty distortion. It's going to sound like nice, clean saturation. The same way like an electric guitar starts to sound really nice when you start to crank the amplifier.
Oh yeah,
up.
because it's analog.
It's
yeah.
real analog. It's not going to sound like shitty digital, like fucking fart noises. It's going to sound like a nice, crisp analog distortion, like saturation more. And that's what makes that special. That's why I would recommend this thing. I am going to get one of these eventually myself. It's just a matter of when I can budget it into you know, my system. Again, more so if not just buying a 1073 and a baby face, but like,
Yeah.
in that interim, assuming I don't fucking blow up overnight, please God, please let me blow up overnight. Yeah, absolutely would be getting one of these. So yeah, if I had to buy another interface right now at this moment under $1,000, it'd be this. So
Okay. Yeah, that looks fucking fantastic.
again, it's a choice for V singers.
Yeah.
Another amazing one right here. The second best interface you can get, Apollo Twin X. This thing's amazing. It comes with all of these plugins that you can just run off of the interface itself, so you won't even have to set filters up in the OBS or anything like that. You can it even shows them in the image right there on the bottom left. Those are the 1176 compressors. It's one of the best compressors ever. On the bottom is the Pultec EQ. Above that's the LA2A. Like, just amazing emulations of real hardware that you can run just directly off of this thing. Again, it's more of a higher end one for V singers and vocalists and stuff like that. But again, I figured Arthur would be the one handling the stuff that is best suited for just your average streamer Andy, and these are suggestions for singer Andy.
Yeah, these are suggestions for all-purpose people who are looking for to do singing and VO work, because it's gonna be able to fit all your potential needs in
the
these
quality semi-budget stuff, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
High budget, yeah.
And then this is also, so this is the last thing, as we gotten through audio interfaces, the last thing is you wanted to add this in for people who are doing ASMR.
Yeah, I hate that fucking ear microphone. That 8DO piece of shit is just an overpriced grift. Chat, if anybody here is interested in doing ASMR, granted, I don't know much about ASMR because it kind of requires a different ear than a musician. A lot of the yucky frequencies I look to take out is kind of what the freaks who jerk off to that stuff like.
Yep.
So, like, I couldn't help you set filters up, but what I do at least know is that the 8DO mic is basically just two small diaphragm condensers paired into one unit. Just buy a fucking Rode M5 pair, or there's another Rode, I think it's like the Rode K5 or some shit. That's like $400, $500. Also great. But like, yeah, just get these and fucking whatever. Just lick the fucking capsule of it. Who cares?
You can just make styrofoam ear, like not styrofoam, but like plastic ears, like rubber ears, and just like attach them to them, and then just like slurp the glorp out of them. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, these things are solid though. Behringer shotgun pairs I've heard good things about too. Yeah, I like Behringer products. I would probably attest to that. They'd probably sound good too. Yeah, shotgun mics are good for ASMR as well. Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I put these in here for, is for ASMR stuff. Don't buy an $800 8DO mic or whatever the fuck it. 400, 500.
I think I got mine. I think I got mine for like $300 XLR.
Yeah.
And which is fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's convenient enough, you know.
The only big thing with this type of thing, though, I don't even know if the 8DO uses two XLR cables, but like won't be able to run this. Oh, it does. Okay.
Yeah. Well, there's two variants. There's one that's a USB variant, and there's one that is a dual XLR.
Got you. Okay, because that's the thing. You won't be able to run this with a Scarlett Solo or anything like that. You will need an interface that has two XLR inputs, and you will have to route them. You'll have to in OBS. You'll have to pan them left and right and stuff like that.
Yep. Yeah, I have a Scarlett 2i2 4th gen that I use for it. That I'll just plug two Mogami cables into it.
The 2i2 is the least one that you'll need. You can't do it with Solo. You can do it with the 2i2. You can do it with anything above the 2i2 as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's it, chat. That is microphone time. We have discussed all the microphones, all our recommendations, all our little factoids. Is there anything else you want to say about mics that we haven't already covered? I think we've basically covered everything I can think of.
That's pretty much it, yeah. I have I actually have two, if anybody wants some writing I've done to maybe solidify and like remember some of this, maybe you can bookmark it or whatever. I have two threads I wrote up on Twitter that went viral like last year. So this first one is basically about microphone recommendations and how kind of you can just get away with a USB mic if you set your filters up right. And there's some rough tips in there. Just some rough tips. It's a little not perfect, because again, it was a while ago and I didn't want to give away every secret to mixing stuff, but that's one thread. And this other thread I wrote is specifically about why you should buy the Beta 57 instead of the SM7B. Again, if you're buying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, both solid threads that kind of go over a little bit of history and just kind of some little bits of advice. But yeah, that's really it. Other than that, I produce music, and I don't know, I stream once a week if I can. Yeah, that's pretty much it, though. Thank you for inviting me, Arthur.
Yeah, you're welcome.
This is a lot of fun. I always wanted to yap about mics with you anyway. It's something we've been talking about doing for a while, so finally did it. Hope I wasn't too grating.
No, it was good. It was good. It was a good discussion. It was good talk. I'm glad I had another audio autist here to talk about all this stuff and get it all through. Yeah. But chat, you can, like, a lot of the recommendations I dropped for streamers, like, you can build an amazing setup of either condenser or dynamic for under $250. And that'll be it. Like, you really don't need to upgrade further past there if you don't want to. Like, I'd say for streamers, the end goal like setup is like around like $600, and the mid tier like good is like $250. And you don't need to go up to it. Like, if you want to do vocal performance and music, then yeah, go up to like $1,000. Go up to like $2,000, you know, around there. Like maybe $1,500. But like, yeah, it is.
Music, you can get away with budgeting stuff as long as you mix right.
Good audio is extremely affordable. And you do not have to buy $150 Yeti slop to get good audio, or like, oh wow, I can't believe that HyperX
really
Quadcast is on sale for a whole $120. Wow, what a good deal.
Yeah, no, I mean that's really the gist of it too. I mean, I have like constantly been an advocate as an esteemed audio professional of just trying to get people to save fucking money on slop. And being able to put that money towards other assets for themselves. You know, you can afford that more expensive rig tier now if you just buy a cheaper mic instead of buying the overpriced piece of shit that you saw a Reddit thread on or whatever. You know what I mean? That's something I ultimately ride for. It's just helping people afford better audio for less.